All right, hey guys, welcome to the webinar tonight. I want to give everybody a chance to get on here and get everything situated. So everybody that's here, if you can, let me know where you're from right now, where you're at in the world in the chat box. In case you're not familiar with Zoom, you got two options to give feedback. You got chat and you got questions, like a Q&A box. So make sure you keep all the questions in the Q&A box, and any kind of chatting, go ahead and do that in the chat box. Again, we'll let some people get on here. I know it's early, late in a lot of places in the world, so there's really just no good time to pick, to be able to suit everybody. So thanks to everybody who is here and able to attend live. This is being recorded, so for some reason you lose connection or whatever, we'll make sure that we get you the recording. Yeah, so cool. More people are jumping on. Let's see. Chat box is filling up here. Everybody should be able to see the chat box, but just in case, you got, hey James, what's up? Victoria, Canada. We got Connecticut. Hey John, hey Chris. Boise, Brett, New Zealand. Sanka, I know it's early. Daryl, awesome, cool. Yeah, so I'm definitely feeling better than I was last night, that's for sure. So again, thank you everybody for being on here live. You guys should be able to see me in the bottom right corner, hopefully. If not, let me know. I tried to make that bigger, but for some reason I can't. I can never figure Zoom out. There we go. See me in the top right, upper right. Okay, I just moved it to the bottom, so I don't really need to see myself. So maybe it doesn't matter where I put it. I'm just gonna move it out of the way then. I'd rather not see myself. It's a distraction. Cool. All right, guys. Well, let's just get started. I got a bunch of content that I want to get all the way through, and I want to have enough time for questions at the end. I just set the time for this webinar for 2 hours, but we can go however long that we need to go to answer questions and everything. So, Melvin's saying bottom right. Maybe I need to leave it where it was so I don't lose it. That's fine. Yeah. So this is kind of a topic that I've been wanting to cover for really since about the early part of the summer. Summer is just a horrible time for me to get into anything new like this as far as training people. So, it wasn't any kind of a selfish reason for keeping this stuff to myself, just more of a lifestyle thing. We moved from Austin to San Antonio, just about an hour away from where we were. But, all of that goes along with moving was a hassle. Doing it in the summer helped a little bit. So, but anyway, settled in now, ready to go. I'm ready to share this with you guys tonight. So, a few housekeeping things. Again, for the people that have just got on, in Zoom, you got two areas. You got a chat and you got a Q&A. Try to limit the Q&A box to just questions. That way at the end, I can kind of slide that over on my other screen and just knock out every single question, and I don't have to filter through a bunch of comments and talking. So I don't have any problem at all with you guys talking with each other in the chat box. Yeah, so just keep those, keep the questions in the Q&A box, keep the chat in the chat box. That's it. So that way to make it easier on me and make sure I get all the questions answered tonight. So cool. All right. Well, this is really the first time that I've ever really presented anything like this in this way. A few webinars ago, I don't remember which one it was, but you follow. I'm no different than you guys. So you follow all of the gurus and all the stuff they tell you to do, and I'm not a good presenter. I'm not a good like live in person salesman. Never have been. It's just not my strength. I get all nervous and feel like there's, I'm standing in front of a stage of 1,000 people, even though I'm really just in this room by myself with the doors closed. Doesn't matter. Like I start to sweat, get nervous, all that stuff. I've never been good live. Just haven't been able to. So I tried to do everything that I could to get help on, coming up with a webinar that would sell the product that I want to sell, which are typically coaching programs like this. And then for this one, a couple weeks ago, I'm just thinking to myself, like, forget the gurus, honestly. Like, nothing against them. They're amazing. They make tons of money. They help people out. And I probably wouldn't be where I am today without them. So I'm not knocking them at all. It's just not my style. So a couple of weeks ago, I'm sitting there thinking, like, how could I really just spin this whole thing around? And instead of making the whole webinar about an offer, making the whole webinar about content and not even really touching on the offer at all. So that's what this is. This is really like, there's no way I could get any closer to 100% content than what I'm doing right here on this webinar. So it's kind of my promise to you tonight for this webinar. Just no pitching. It's kind of like back, I don't know, the very first traffic and conversion summit that I ever went to. Of course, it's a paid event, so I paid to be in the room. But it doesn't make any difference. Like, it's always a sales pitch fest. They're always, every person on stage is pitching something, and really the presentation is created to sell the thing that they're pitching at the end. Very little content at those types of events. But I went to Ryan and Perry's traffic and conversion summit back. If it wasn't the first one, it was like the second one. So very early on. And right out of the gate, like, I'm just blown away because every single session was just 100% content. And then, like, in between the session, they're like, oh yeah, we have something back there at the table. If you want to check it out, go check it out. So I'm like, that's like my style. That's exactly me. So that's what this is. So this entire, tonight, the entire webinar, I said in the email yesterday or the day before that I trashed all my slides for this. And that's the honest truth, because I had an entire presentation created the way that I did the other presentations, where it was like selling, and a tiny bit of maybe 3 slides that had content in them. Nobody, I don't want to sit through that, because just make the offer if you want to make the offer. There's no reason to just sit around and waste people's time with sales pitching. You don't need to. Like, at any moment you can hit leave webinar and be done. Like, I don't need you to stay here. So I trashed those slides completely, just started over. And what you're seeing on tonight, the entire thing is just content. Only thing that you're ever going to see tonight could be considered a pitch is this right here at the bottom of every slide. Is going to be there at the bottom of every slide. And that's more so for you, for your benefit. If you want to go there, read more about the coaching program, then, please do so. So without further ado, let's dive in. Tonight is really all about promoting health supplements. That's like the massive opportunity right now. And when I say right now, I'm literally talking about September 10th, 2020. So why right now? The current situation, if for some reason, like, you're watching this replay a year or two from now, we're still in the middle of the COVID pandemic for the most part. People are spending more time at home than they're used to, or really at this point, we all are kind of used to it here in the States. Now it's been going on 6 months that we've been quote unquote on lockdown, but people just don't have the desire to go out and put themselves or their family at risk, especially the older people. So that, the older demographic are always going to be, the people that can not only afford to spend more money, but the ones that, in this case specifically, are looking to spend money to help their health situation, or at least be some kind of a preventative measure with health. So like, if you're not familiar, like health is probably the top niche when it comes to marketing, online and offline. One of the big three. So the big three are health, wealth, relationships. Health, it's an evergreen niche that it's just not going anywhere. But the opportunities specifically is promoting health supplements and doing so as an affiliate marketer, which, as we get through the rest of this content here, I'm going to kind of show you what the typical affiliate marketer does, and then how you should be doing it ethically. And really, honestly, it's more effective in my opinion. I have tried it the other way as more of a split test than anything. But the way that I'm showing you how to do it is really the best way to do it, period. Yeah. So, older people just afraid to go, and so I shouldn't really have said afraid. They're not really afraid to go out. They would just rather not go out if they don't have to. And there's more rules with doctors' offices. The hospitals have strict rules with, who can enter, who can't enter. You can't have a spouse go along with you. You can't. Which is way different. It's way more of a hassle. So fewer people are going to the doctor to get the preventative care that they normally do, and instead they're turning to online sources and really turning into supplements and vitamins and stuff like that. Immune boosters for sure. So, like, the thing is, these supplements have always been available for affiliates to promote. They just, like, affiliates just don't know the right way to do it. It's kind of again, affiliates are typically lazy. And like, I don't want to group everybody into one category, but typically, so it's more so like, what's this guy doing, or what's running right now, because that's probably working. Let me copy what they're doing, just do the same thing type of thing. And it's kind of been ancestral like that for a very long time. So I'm getting ahead of myself here, but people are buying more and more supplements, vitamins, immune boosters. So here's a link from, I don't remember where it's from. I don't even know where this is going to open if I click it. Of course, it's an ad. Yeah, so we're not just staring at slides the whole night, guys. That, if you haven't known me for that long, I don't do slides very often. I more so put these slides together for myself, so like I try and rein myself in, because I'm like massive ADD, and I'll like skip a lot of important stuff that you need to know first before you can understand the next thing. So slides are really more for my benefit than anything else. But so we're going to be jumping all over the place, looking at things, out in the wild, specifically looking at stuff. So this is a article on nutritionaloutlook.com. This is from April 1st. So it's very quick, like very soon after the pandemic started here in the States. And so dietary supplement sales skyrocketed during coronavirus pandemic, which kind of obvious, right? I don't honestly know what that picture is for, but this is really what I wanted to show here. So winners. So here, these are like the winning supplements, meaning like the supplements that are like skyrocketing in sales. They have ingredients like, all the stuff that's going to be immune boosting. And that's obvious. So elderberry sales were up 170% over the past year, but during the 1 week period, sales were up 415%. So again, this is back in April, and this is more of the immune boosting phase. Like, people are like out there trying to figure out, like, I need to, boost my immune system, and what can I buy online and just quickly do that. That was that phase. And it has since, according to this website, they have another article on here. According to that website, it's kind of tapered off and leveled off, plateaued, I guess is the best way to put it. But now the stuff that's still skyrocketing, it's actually taken almost like a hockey stick curve. So let me try and do this so that it makes sense to you. Going like way up, and here in the last month or two is weight loss. because when you think back to when this all started, gyms were closed. Gyms were closed for, so we had, I don't know, Gold's Gym, I think is what it was. And they were closed through June maybe, or July. I don't remember. So that was a good 2 or 3 months that nobody could go to the gym. And everybody else, first of all, you're still not going out of the house as often. Like you're gonna gain weight if you're just sitting around the house watching TV instead of getting out and about and doing stuff. So it's more so like an obvious opportunity than it is like, I discovered this, nobody else did type of thing. I'm never gonna claim anything like that. But that's the opportunity, and it's right now, guys. Like as we go through the stuff tonight, you're going to realize that very few people are doing what I'm telling you to do on here, and you can literally take what I'm giving you for free tonight without being a part of the coaching program or anything like that. You can literally go tonight, even right now, you can just exit the virtual room here, so to speak, go up to your hotel room and knock stuff out like that. So what I'm comparing that to is being at a live event. What I used to do. Like I would get something from a live event and it's like one thing that I wasn't thinking of doing and I just did it. Or, I mean, they said it and I'm like, it's instant like light bulb moment. I'm like, I got to leave the room before I get distracted and don't do this. So I would go out, either go up back to the hotel, up to my room, or just go out in the lobby somewhere and finish, like set it up or make the change or whatever. You can do the same thing tonight on, with what I'm showing you here. So that's really the opportunity. Let me go back here so that, what was it? There was one thing that I wanted to mention. Oh no, that's it. Okay. I got that link in there. So that's the opportunity. Kind of from like a 30,000 foot view of the bird's eye view type of thing. Promoting health supplements as an affiliate, it's nothing new. That's just where the opportunity lies right now. And what I'm going to share with you for the rest of the night is going to be basically how to capitalize on this opportunity the easiest way for the least amount of money. But first, I want to show you the wrong way. So, in order for you to understand how effective the right way is, you kind of need to understand the way that affiliates have been doing it, or have done it in the past, so that you, first of all, don't make those mistakes. And second of all, you can kind of learn from that and use it to your own advantage. So I'm just going to put all of these on the screen here. So this is the typical quote unquote affiliate way, or what I call the wrong way to promote health supplements. And this isn't just losing weight, or weight loss. And so what I'm talking about here, when I'm saying supplements, it's not just weight loss. I just got done saying weight loss is a huge thing right now because of the current situation. But it's all of the health supplements. They're all in bulk into that one category of opportunity, because it's the same deal. Let's say I am having hair loss issues. I can't go to a doctor as easily as I could before. So the easier solution may just be to try a bottle of pills, because it's easier and faster than getting an appointment at a doctor's office, going through the hassle of getting tested first before you can walk in the door and all that stuff. This is just an easier solution, and you can get stuff, get it delivered in a week. So this is how most affiliates promote supplements. So spammy ads. So what you're looking at right here, this is from the spy tool Anstrux, which if you haven't used Anstrux yet, for native ads, it's my go-to spy tool. This isn't really even a very bad example, but it proves the point. So what I consider spammy ads are really what a lot of people call clickbait. So the whole point is to just get somebody to click this ad because maybe the image caught their attention. The headline. So what I consider spammy is the image, the headline of the ad and then the page that the person lands on after they click the ad, if they don't align, meaning they're not congruent, then it's spammy. Because the whole point was just to get somebody to click their ad and land on a page. It's like regardless of where, it could be a picture of like a pot with lemons in it, right? So, and I've used that ad myself in the past. It doesn't, it's not congruent with anything that has to do with the offer. Nothing about the offer has to do with anything with lemons in a pot. It's just spammy ads. Sure, it might work. It might get them to click. But you know, the question is, how long is it going to work? Because it's not congruent. It's not relevant. The person you're showing this to is not thinking in their head, if I want to lose weight, an orange drink is going to pop up in their mind. Like that's typically what your images should do. It should like call out to them and not just like draw their attention in because it's curious. That there's ways that you want to use curiosity, and there's ways that you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot with curiosity. So that's what I consider to be spammy ad. This landing page, I'm sorry if this is your domain, but it's an illegal landing page, meaning like legal, like illegal as in go to jail illegal. Because first of all, this is not the Fox News website. Their domain that they purchased says Fox and it says news, but it's foxworldnews.today. Fox News, I believe, is just foxnews.com. So it's illegal to pretend like you are a company only to get the authority that's already attached to that company and the credibility. They're doing the same stuff with just kind of throwing up random pictures here. Like, you know, this is a picture from Shark Tank. This was not on Shark Tank. I'm guessing that they probably just made this up too. So, you know, you just got to, it might make money for them. Like, you know, like I said, I've tested stuff like this just out of curiosity. But I'm not ever going to tell somebody to do something that's illegal. And, you know, a lot of affiliates might think, oh, it's not illegal. And to them, I say, ask the FTC. Go to ftc.gov and search for affiliates being sued. Promise you, you'll find hundreds of results ranging from $2 million to $25 million, probably $100 million. Even affiliate networks have gotten sued because they gave affiliates landing pages that were like this. They were illegal. They were using fake, basically fake news style landing pages and throwing, you know, any kind of an ad that they wanted to on it. So this is how, again, I don't want to lump all the affiliates out there in the world into one category because it's not the truth. You know, there are affiliates out there that do it ethically. They learn what it is about this that makes it work, but they do it legally. They find something else to add that authority or that credibility, and they're doing it legally. That's not an illegal landing page. So, but again, when I say here's how most affiliates do it, it's because the percentage of them doing it as compared to the percentage of them not doing it is higher. That's what they're doing. Spammy ad, illegal landing page. So I put, you know, effective or ineffective, or I'm sorry, expensive or ineffective traffic sources. That's more so the guys that just haven't done it enough to know, like, you should never be spending money on that traffic source because it's just not ever going to convert to a supplement buyer, or you know, you're spending way too much money for that click. It's good quality click, but you're just not going to make the math's not going to work out. So the last thing, complicated tracking setups. That's more so for people that just are new. They feel like you need a complicated tracking setup. You don't. A lot of the guys that, like, if you study these campaigns, if you go to all the traffic sources and just start typing in, you know, weight loss and stuff and study the campaigns, you'll find out that the tracking is very, very elementary because that's just what you don't need anything that's fancy. Honestly, you just need to know if something's working, if something's not working. That's really it. So that's the wrong way to promote supplements. And Again, not everybody's doing it this way, but more times than not, this is just the way that I've seen it done. And again, it probably works, meaning the math works out for them, but they're doing it illegally and it's not going to last for long. You're also really not adding any value to anything here. Kind of just taking money from person selling the supplement. The landing page isn't adding any kind of value because the majority of it's just made up and not real. So what are you doing to help people in this situation? That's kind of the way that I look at this stuff is, am I making money from something that's helping both myself, but, not just myself, but other people, both parties, the person buying and the person paying me, am I adding value here? If I'm running illegal landing pages like this, I'm not only putting myself at risk, I'm putting the affiliate network at risk, the vendor, the person selling the supplement, and putting them at risk because it's got their name all over it. Look at ultra fast keto boost, ultra fast keto boost, like their name of the supplement, it's all over this thing, meaning that it looks like they're the ones that created it. And, you're putting them at risk as well as yourself. So just not cool. So people like myself that are, I call myself ethical in the sense that, like what I said on the previous slide, I'm not going to run stuff like that. So in my mind, and really it's the same for other affiliates, like what's the other option? Because I don't know how to sell a supplement when the only thing that they give me as the affiliate to sell it is the order form. So look at this. This is I'll pull over on the screen here in a second. Let me find it. When you go to a typical CPA network, and you look for a supplement affiliate product to promote, probably a good 80 to 90% of them, they aren't going to give you landing pages to use. They're just going to give you your affiliate link. And when somebody clicks your affiliate link, it just takes that person straight to an order form where it's like, this one says, tell us where to send your bottle. So let me show you here. I just found this one. I think I just searched on Google to find it, but this is typically what you are given as the affiliate. This isn't a sales page. This is an order form, meaning sure it's got some selling benefits to it, some a couple different things that will help order form conversions, but it's not enough to get a high conversion rate, high enough for you to be able to afford to spend money on traffic. There's just no way. That's why the guys default to promoting using stuff like this. They just don't know what else to do. Some of the really good ones will literally write their own copy, their own landing page copy for this. And this is kind of the example that I found. I don't even know if it's the same one, honestly, but maybe. Yeah, it is Skingenix. And so look at how much effort is put into creating this. And this may have been created by the actual Skingenix company. But as a beginner affiliate, even as my level of affiliate, I don't want to sit down and create a page like this. There's just the company might close tomorrow. I don't have control over. I don't have enough control over the situation for me to feel comfortable putting that much time into creating a landing page. That's why the guys default to this, because it's like, what's the quickest way I can put something online and make some money? And they just go and look at what other people are doing. Oh, this guy's just running a Fox News landing page. Let me just copy his and switch the name out to another company, another supplement, and then it'll be fine. So for the ethical guys that aren't comfortable doing this, what else do you do? And that's when the majority of them will switch to, they kind of default to promoting health-based digital info products. So the typical ClickBank product. Problem is, there's actually a number of problems with digital info products like this. They're typically lower payouts than supplement offers, which means that you, as the affiliate, you're spending the same amount of money on ads, but your ROI is lower. You're not making as much money on every conversion, so there's no way in the world you can make that up. There are also higher refund rates with digital products, which really cuts into your future ROI. So that's on a supplement offer, something's getting sent out and mailed to that person. It's a lot harder for them to refund it because they actually have to send the product back to get the refund. And digital products it's literally just an email. You can just write an email and say, I want a refund. Typically a refund rate for a ClickBank offer, not even in health, any really digital product, you're probably 10% refund rate minimum. So that's 10%. That's 10% that's immediately cut off of your profit as an affiliate. That's really, it's not 10% off your ROI. It's 10% off of the profit immediately. And that's into the future. It's like robbing you from making future money. And they're really, the biggest thing is they're just a harder sale to make. And it just kind of comes down to psychology. Like you're not buying a tangible product, like something that you can hold in your hand. It's just an ebook. So as the person buying it, if they're not in a market like, marketers, like we're just used to buying information. We're used to buying digital products and we understand the value that's associated with it. And in markets outside of that, that's an obstacle you have to overcome during the sales process. Like why am I selling you a digital product? And how is it worth $47 because it's literally just, bytes of information in the ether. There is nothing that's physical that you hold in your hand. It's an obstacle that you have to overcome. And, I've done it. I've been doing it since 2010 in a bunch of different niches, and it's not easy, especially not when you're the affiliate. You don't have any control over the sales process. The only control you have is sending targeted traffic to that offer. So, with health-based info products, they usually, or in most cases, are teaching like natural solutions, stuff that, not everybody likes natural solutions. They want the easy way, right? Everybody wants the easy way, which leads to the last thing, which is the most important. And it's what is called making them believe. So I'm going to go into that here on the next slide. But I want you to understand this and kind of the typical mindset of an affiliate with supplement offers, because this is like I said, 80 to 90% of the time, you're only going to be given this page to send people to. There's the person that owns this supplement, which this is really a skin tag remover, like a cream, still considered a supplement, but the person who owns it, they're not creating any of the sales material for you. They're leaving that up to you. They want you to send somebody who's ready to buy to their site. That's it. They don't want to do the whole sales process. So like keep that in the back of your mind, because we're going to come back to that here in a little bit. Done with that. Okay. All right. So let's talk about making them believe here, because it's extremely important that you understand this stuff. I'm like a huge marketing psychology nerd. So I know you can't really see, it's a very small image behind me, but I've got a huge, like the whole entire wall is a bookcase. And, I would venture to say that more than probably 75% of the books on that bookshelf are related to psychology, and a lot of them are related specifically to marketing psychology and getting people to take the action you want them to take, which is usually buying or becoming a lead. And as an affiliate, like that stuff doesn't disappear. It's still just as important as it is when you are the one that owns the offer. And this is another area where affiliates lack discipline, I guess is the best way to put it, and just thinking that they can quickly throw something up and somebody's going to take their recommendation on it because it's just an ad that they created and sent them to either a fake landing page, a fake news landing page, or straight to an offer. You've got to understand that person more than they understand themselves. It's no different than, like I said, if you're the one who owns the offer, your sales material needs to speak to them specifically. It's got to be, it's got to hit them on every emotional level and hit every trigger necessary to get them, to get them like moved inside enough to where they feel like what you're offering can help them. And the affiliate, to me, honestly, it's almost more important that you know it than it is for the person selling the product, because you're the one controlling who is sent to that site. If you don't send the right person to that site, like it makes their job 100 times harder. And really, you're just shooting yourself in the foot if you don't send the right person to that site. You can't expect a high conversion rate if the person is just doesn't match up with who they wrote the copy for. So yeah, the affiliate marketing and psychology to me it's huge. So back to making them believe. I'm going to show you two different things here, and it's just blatantly obvious, but it's instructional. So which of these two things do you think it's easier to get your prospect to believe? First one, do you think it's easier to get them to believe that it's possible for them to read a digital info product, understand the information that they read, follow the instructions from that info product to a T, and see it all the way through to the end until they achieve the result that they were hoping for? Or pop a pill? It's pretty obvious, right? So this is the difference between selling digital information products. Really, doesn't even have to be digital; it could be physical as well. It's selling the result and making them believe that the process they take to get the result is doable for them. Whether it's them reading a book or a guide and following the system step by step. A lot of like ClickBank guys avoid, like they try to get around this issue by calling their digital product a system or a boot camp, stuff like that. Like I've called my stuff that too, but like I'm not competing with a physical pop a pill, solution. It's just, it's different market anyways. But that's the struggle that the digital information product guys have in the health space when they're just selling information, because you're still leaving it up to that person to have to do all of these things. And people know themselves better than anyone else does. They know they're not going to do it. That's why they're in the situation they're in right now. They don't have the discipline to be healthy or to stay at this weight. But when you are selling a pill, all of that is put onto the pill. The only thing they have to do is put X number of pills in their mouth every day. It's a very, very, very easy thing to sell. So you're with an information product, they have to sell not only the fact that whatever is inside of that guide is going to help them, they also have to sell that person on believing in themselves, which is a lot harder to do than selling them on the fact that what's in that guide is going to work. Selling them on the fact that they have to do the work is 1,000 times harder. And it's a battle that I've been fighting for a very long time in a number of different niches, because people don't have the confidence. They don't believe in themselves. They want a done-for-you solution, and a pill is the fastest, cheapest way for them to get that solution without having to do any work. That's the easy answer for them, and it's a simple sell. like, the less a prospect has to believe, the easier it'll be for you to make the sale. Kind of as a side note, Dan Kennedy actually has a book, which I pulled out of the bookshelf here, called Making Them Believe. I don't know, you probably can't see it, but if you've never read this book, I recommend reading it, more so because, there's a lot, like, it's a hugely instructive book, just an amazing story. Literally on the cover, how one of America's legendary rogues marketed the goat testicle solution and made millions. Like, yeah, if I'm blind, I'm dying type of thing. Like the kind of the brief backstory is the guy, Dr. Brinkley, this is back in the 1920 era. He was going around the country and, he learned that goats were very, they were good at having babies. They, without getting into too much detail, goats had that, whatever it's called. So he went around and literally did surgery, like goat testicles onto man type of thing. And selling that was kind of the making them believe part, because the making them believe was all about getting them to believe that, first of all, goats can reproduce a lot better than humans because of such and such and such and such, whatever it is. Could be anything that the normal, American population doesn't have any clue about goats. Maybe they know, that they reproduce kind of like rabbits do. But like connecting those dots type of thing. So I just put that in there because I actually named this slide, really the previous slide, Making Them Believe. I put that as the most important thing, and then I reminded me about Dan's book. So they're kind of connected, but not really. Nothing that I had on there is about goat testicles. So a little bit of interaction here. Make sure nobody's sleeping. Promoting supplements instead of digital products makes more sense. Would you agree or would you not? So in the chat box, guys, let me know that you're following along here, that this stuff's making sense. Agree, definitely agree. Yes. Okay, cool. Yes. Awesome. I just saw somebody said I've been promoting Leptotox. It's a good one. Christian. Hey, Christian, what's up? Yeah, so yeah, makes a whole lot of sense. I agree. It's just like a lot of people, and maybe a lot of people do understand that. I'm just taking for granted the fact that people are smarter than I think they are. But majority of affiliates, like I said, kind of entered this world with blinders on, and they just don't think for themselves. It's like you enter the affiliate marketing world kind of as because you need to make money fast. Like, I don't have any products of my own. I don't have an email list. How can I make fast money? And it's like looking straight ahead. What is this guy doing? What are they doing? Let me just try what he's doing and see if it works for me, because it must be working for him. Yeah, just slow down, think to yourself, just back up and look at each step. Common sense will tell you a lot of times that what somebody's doing, it just doesn't make sense. Back up to that fake Fox News lander, the article landing page. Common sense would tell you don't do that. That's like walking down the street with a camera on your shoulder and a microphone and walking into someone's door and saying, I'm with Fox News, can I interview you? You're not ever going to do that. Don't pretend to be somebody you're not. Just common sense. You can really put any logo. There's ways to recreate and manufacture authority and credibility and trust and get the same effect out of it that you can, instead of you doing it illegally and just pretending to be a news company or not. So cool. All right, guys. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. Again, thank you guys for being on here live. I see there's a couple questions, so again, I'm gonna get all the questions at the end. I just want to got a lot of stuff I still want to get through, um, and I understand if you have to take off, if it's late, early, some places, whatever. I promise I will answer every question tonight. It's all recorded, but I don't want to do questions in between all this stuff. So, but please ask your question while you're thinking of it. Like, do it right now. It's not distracting me at all to have it over there. That's why I have it over there. But because I don't want you to forget a question that you really wanted to ask. So go ahead and ask it. But just make sure it's in the Q&A box, not in the chat box, or we'll get lost. Sweet. All right. How to promote supplements the right way. So, what we just looked at a few slides ago was doing it what I consider to be the wrong way. But hey, it's no judgment from me on the guys doing it that way. It's not any judgment personally on me to them. I consider it the wrong way because it's something that I personally wouldn't do. So, do however you want to do it. I'm just telling you the way that I do it, the way that to me, honestly, works better and is more long-term, because at any time you could get wiped off the face of the earth with stuff like that. It's very risky. So this is what I call stacking the deck in your favor. And it's basically everything that I do, really on the front end of any kind of affiliate promotion, whether it's a niche that I'm in, what I call quote unquote long-term with email. Nothing that I'm talking about tonight is with email. This can be done with email, which we'll talk about here later on. I've got some normal, some commonly asked questions at the end that I'm just answered myself, because I know a lot of people would have those questions. So I'll talk about email then, but this is stuff that I do, whether it's in a niche where I have a long-term email following, like building an email list, or from just doing, shorter term, affiliate campaigns. So stacking the deck in your favor is always it's kind of like cheating to a certain degree, because somebody that's just entered this, say that I pull my neighbor in from next door here, and I'm talking to him, he has no clue what affiliate marketing is. He's not going to know any of this stuff. This I'm giving you is basically like the cheat codes to a video game. Some of it's pretty obvious, and if you know anything about affiliate marketing, you're probably going to think all of this is obvious. Duh. A lot of people don't know this stuff. So stacking the deck in your favor is always the way to start. So choose affiliate networks with higher and faster payouts, meaning higher payout. So Christian mentioned his previous promoting Leptotox, or however you say it. I don't know how to pronounce some of these things, but that's an offer that's actually in multiple affiliate networks. I honestly haven't even looked to see the difference in the pricing, but it's usually a different payout. And a lot of times it's because the affiliate network charges you different fees as the vendor, meaning, and these aren't, I don't know the fees. ClickBank might be, let's say, 5%, which I know probably more than that. Used to be 7%, just for the sake of the demonstration. ClickBank might be charging the vendor 5% of every transaction. And let's say Digistore24, which is the other one that I believe that Leptotox is on, only charges 2.5% per transaction. They can afford to pay their affiliates more money while keeping the price the same. So it's not just the number, meaning it's not just how much how much the price is to the customer. Let's say the bottle of Leptotox is $80. Could be $80 on both networks, but maybe on Digistore24 you're making 90% commission. ClickBank you're only making 75%. That's a higher payout. The number I'm want to look at is what is my dollar commission. Not you can't just go off percentages either, because you got to look at the sale price. Sale price is what I was trying to say before. You can't just look at sale price. You can't just look at commission percentage. You got to look at how much money per transaction do I stand to make as an affiliate on the front end. That's the higher payout. faster payout, kind of obvious, but the affiliate network pays you the money. How fast do they pay you? Do they pay you every week? Do they pay you every 2 weeks, which is bi-weekly? Do they pay you once a month? Those things matter. They matter for you as the affiliate because you are the one spending the money on the traffic. The faster you get your money back, the faster you can buy more traffic, the faster you can scale, the faster you can make more money. Choose supplements with high conversion rates. Pretty obvious there, right? Like you're not ever really going to know the actual conversion rate. But yeah, so I actually have a slide to go over each one of these things. So I'll talk about each one of these in a second. High CTRs equals low CPCs. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. I'm going to talk about it. Lead with problems and pains, not pills and potions. Again, I got the slides for all this stuff. So the most important thing, guys, choose a supplement offer that has a VSL. VSL stands for Video Sales Letter. So remember when I showed you, I already closed it. When I showed you that skin tag remover and it was just an order form, right? And I like stressed the fact that 89% of the time, if it's in a CPA network, when you're looking at a supplement, you're only gonna ever have an order form to send your traffic to, meaning you have to come up with the sales material, which is why people default to the quickest, easiest swiped lander they can find from somebody else. Sometimes it is a legal one. If you choose a supplement offer with a VSL, with a video sales letter, you don't have to do any of the selling. Meaning, like, you can start tonight, go put an ad up, get your affiliate link, send that person directly from an ad to a VSL. It's a video sales letter. They're doing the selling for you. All you have to do is send them live, like people who are breathing type of thing. Targeted is better. Talk more about that in a second. Last thing is choose the right traffic source. It isn't really a wrong traffic source. They're just some traffic sources that are better. All right, let's go over each one of these here. Recommend affiliate networks. So I've got 4 of them. I'll just put them all in here. ClickBank, A4D, Max Bounty, Digistore 24. These are by no means the only good ones. There are tons more out there. These are to read it again, my 4 favorite supplement affiliate networks. Like there's more than enough offers in these 4 places than I have money to spend on traffic. Just don't need any more. Are there better ones out there? I'm sure, absolutely. There's probably. So I'm probably currently right now promoting an offer on, let's say, ClickBank that's also in another network that I've never even heard of before that's paying out more money than I'm making from ClickBank. And if you're on this live webinar right now and are watching the replay, please email me, tell me, put in the chat box, tell me that, hey, like, dude, you should check out this affiliate network. I'm always going to be looking for ways to make more money. These are just the 4 that, again, are my favorites, but they're the ones that I feel comfortable enough recommending to other people. Affiliate networks come and go, man. Like, I swear, every week getting an email, sorry, work's shutting down. Like, do you know how much work goes into the trash can when an affiliate network shuts down and you've been like working with just that one offer that's in no other affiliate networks? A lot. There's a lot of work that goes into this stuff. And really, when I say work, I don't mean like setting up campaigns and creating stuff like that, but it's the learning process of like, this worked, that didn't work. Because when you're especially when you're in a network that for a network to shut down, it's got to be one that a lot of people just don't know about. Which also means that if there's an offer in that network, it's also an offer a lot of people don't know about. So you have to kind of do a lot of the stuff yourself. You're likely not going to find a supplement offer inside of a network nobody's ever heard about that has a VSL. It's just rare. There's a lot of offers in at A4D and Max Bounty that don't have VSLs, supplement offers. Some do, so that's why I put them in there. And a lot of people still don't realize that ClickBank has supplement offers. They've had them for a long time now, not a long time, but it feels like a long time to me. But for a decade and more, they were just digital products. They started doing physical products like supplements I don't even know when it was, a while ago. But same with Digistore 24. They don't have nearly as many as ClickBank, but they have check them out. They have a few good ones right now for sure. One that was just a couple weeks ago came on, allowing new affiliates to sign up. So definitely, if you're not on Digistore 24 and you're already doing this, you're missing out on a bunch of money. All right. Now, I also put the payouts in here, like ClickBank and really ClickBank. ClickBank's about the only one that you don't have the ability to get a faster payout unless you're making like just so much money that you literally strike a custom deal with them. These other networks will, once you hit a certain threshold, they'll bump you to weekly payouts, and it'll be, A4D and Max Bounty can even get to like net 7, maybe even net 5. I've never gotten to net 7, net 5, but I know that some guys do. Digistore 24, the same. Theirs is really a threshold thing as well, meaning it's kind of a goofy structure, but you've got to make a certain amount before a certain date of the month to get it like the next week, every single week. So like if you're making over $500 a week, then you can get it weekly. It's one of the deals. They're pretty new and they pay out faster for both vendors and affiliates. It's one of the reasons that a lot of guys are moving over there right now and that have digital products from ClickBank. So definitely check them out. So choose high converting supplements, like pretty obvious. If you're not familiar with how to find high converting supplements, I'm going to show you here just real quick so that everybody is fully aware. This is the ClickBank marketplace. For the sake of demonstration here, on the left are the categories. Before I go into that, one thing that I do a lot that a lot of people don't realize you can do in ClickBank in the marketplace, you don't have to pick a category. You don't have to type in a name of anything. You can just hit the search button. What that does is it returns all of the offers currently in ClickBank, all of them right here. So 3,562 offers. It returns them and sorts them by popularity. Popularity is a metric that ClickBank created based on gravity, which is another metric I'll talk about, and recency, volume, so sales volume, and I don't know, something else they told me, I don't remember. Gravity is basically the number of affiliates who have made money promoting the offer in a recent amount of time, whether it's a week, 2 weeks, a month, I don't know anymore. So for this, and you can see, again, this returns all of the offers in the ClickBank marketplace. I'm talking about everything here, all the digital products, everything. Meaning it's returning, this page is these are the top 10 offers in ClickBank based on popularity. Proven is a supplement. Research is a supplement. I don't think that this is a supplement. Maybe it is. Revenue River. Yep, supplement. LeptoConnect supplement. Leptotox supplement. This is a supplement. This is not a supplement. So, supplement. So that like 7 to 8 out of the 10 top offers in ClickBank are now supplements. To find supplements over here, just go to health and fitness and then dietary supplements. And you can see there are 41 of them currently. Yeah, so there's a lot. So anyway, to find the high converting ones in ClickBank, you're going to look at gravity, you're going to look at popularity. Gravity is going to show you the majority of the affiliates that are like, what are affiliates promoting and making money with. So you can see this one, research is like about 647 affiliates have made money with it. Proven 511. Lepto Connect almost 198. Leptotox 303. The tinnitus one 153. So that shows you like based on gravity, meaning like the number of people who are promoting it within a recent amount of time, they're making money with it. Not going to show you conversion rates, but it's kind of just assumed that if a lot of affiliates are promoting it, it's because it's converting very well. Again, that's an assumption, but it's just been kind of the rule with ClickBank and their gravity scores for a long time among affiliates. Another thing is to look at, like don't ignore the average dollar per sale. So this is not how much money you're making per sale. It's the average money that you're making per transaction, or really like cart value kind of as an affiliate. So let me show one that's like pretty different. And these are going to be very similar because there's just so many sales being made every day in these. I guess this is the closest, one of the most different. So every single sale that you make of Organifi, you're gonna make $61 as the affiliate. However, the average order value, meaning as an affiliate, you make an average of $63.33 because there's upsells in these funnels that you can get commissions on. So that's where those numbers will be different. So just know that, if you're kind of new to ClickBank. So ClickBank, check gravity numbers. A4D, easiest way is to ask your affiliate manager. They got some really, really good people at A4D, and they're willing to help you make as much money as they possibly can, because every time you make money, they make money. And they have all the stats. So like these affiliate networks are the ones actually selling the product. They're the ones they've got all the conversion data. ClickBank, you don't get an affiliate manager. You don't get any kind of a rep for your account. At A4D and Max Bounty, you get reps for your account. So like use them. A lot of people don't use them. They're like afraid to talk to them. Like, dude, like I promise you, they want to help you more than you realize it, and they will. They'll give you a lot of information. That's really what I mean. Like that's what they're good for is the conversion data, the stuff they see every day, and they know what works and what doesn't work. And they know like if there's multiple pages that you have an option to send people to as the affiliate, like a VSL with an autoplay video, or a VSL without an autoplay video, or VSL with an exit pop-up, or one without an exit pop. Like they know all the data, the conversion data. Digistore 24, if you've never been there, you can pull that up. Let me get to the right place here. So this is I don't know why that got pulled way over there. There we go. All right. This is the marketplace for Digistore 24. So like to figure out what is converting the best here, you just look at the rank. So just by default, they show all of their offers. So this is just the digital products category. There's 191 digital products. You can see the sales rank right here. They're really like on this first page, it's gonna be pretty obvious. That's the first one. That's the second one, and so on. but when you get into like, so supplements are going to be in the physical products, and supplements, there's only 6 of them. So you want to look at, like, again, the sales rank is going to show up for whatever category you're in, but these supplements are also, I believe they're also listed in the other categories as well. Maybe not. So they actually show so the cancellation rates, the refund rate. So they show like that type of stuff with the ones that they have been like, getting a lot of conversions for. They'll show all that data. And go back to, something is missing out of here though. 1, 2. Okay. Oh, there it is. Go to okay, yeah. So the sales rank it's going to show, if it just shows a 3, that's what I wanted to pull up here. If it just shows like the number, that means it's the rank for the entire thing. So you hover over the question mark, number 3 in digital products, number 3 in all the products, number 1 in fitness and health. And this one shows number 2 in fitness and health, number 7 in digital products, number 7 in all products. So they don't have a lot of products in here, so it's kind of obvious, like, what's converting the best. But yeah, that's kind of just a quick preview of Digistore 24. There are some good supplement offers in Digistore 24 for the guys that are already doing this. These 2 right here. All right. Next, high CTRs equals low CPCs. So I got an example here. So this is actually a real example, not of a supplement that I was promoting. This was actually this was almost 4 years ago, I think. But it's a good example for this demonstration because it's about click-through rates. So CTR stands for click-through rates. CPC stands for cost per click. So click-through rate is basically how many times your ad is shown. It's a percentage of the people that clicked your ad that saw it. So, say that 10 people saw your ad and only 1 clicked, that's 1 out of 10, which is a 10% click-through rate. The higher you can get your CTR in any ad network, any ad network that charges you on a per click basis, and technically with CPM, actually CPM, not really, because you're just paying per impression, but any ad network that charges on a per click basis, the higher you can get your CTR, the lower your CPC is going to go. That is a fact with Google, Facebook, Bing, every single native ad network that's out there. And the reason that they're willing to lower your CPC is because it actually makes them more money. It's kind of a counterintuitive thing to think about it that way, which is why I put this example together for you. These are, what I'm about to show you are real ads promoting it was a digital health-based info product in the weight loss niche, a digital product, not supplement. But so they're real ads, real click-through rates. Excuse me. So kind of just making up just basing it on 100,000 impressions. They're real ads with real click-through rates. So it's a perfect example. So this was the first ad that I tried when launching this campaign. And this was on Bing. This was, again, back 2015, 2016. I don't remember one of those 2 years, but I was just direct linking straight to, it was a VSL, video sales letter. So that's the first ad. And again, targeting very specific keywords in all about losing belly fat. So very specific to losing belly fat. And I don't remember how many keywords it was, but it was a good amount of keywords, but they were all about losing belly fat. So if you're not familiar with how this works with Bing, or really any search network, somebody goes to Bing and types in fast way to lose belly fat. As an advertiser, I can show my ad to them if I bid on that keyword phrase. So let's just say that I was just bidding on lose belly fat. Lose belly fat was in that phrase, right? It was fast way to lose belly fat. My ad would show up at the top of the search results because I'm bidding on that keyword phrase. And when my ad shows up, it's considered an impression. So this was the first ad I tried. And again, the person is typing in something related to losing belly fat. And you'll notice that nothing in my ad says anything about belly. There's no belly, no stomach, midsection, nothing like that. So that's the first ad, the very first ad that I ran, which, by the way, made money. It was over 100% ROI of this ad on the first day. That's the first ad. This is the second ad. So there are a couple differences, both in the difference in the headline and then a little bit of the difference down here. Instead of avoiding veggie, it was with no exercise. But I can promise you the reason why, well, let me show you the stats. So first ad stats, click-through rate was 1.54%. My cost per click was 89 cents a click. I think I was bidding $1 a click. And again, these first, let me go back. The first two numbers in the ad stats are legit numbers from my campaign, my actual campaign. These are real numbers. The next two stats are just based on 100,000 impressions, because it really doesn't matter, how many impressions I got then. I'm doing this to prove a point of why ad networks will pay you more money. I'm sorry, will charge you less money if you have a higher CTR. So those two are from my campaign. So with a click-through rate of 1.54% on 100,000 impressions, I would get 1,540 clicks. And my total cost, or my total ad spend, would be about $1,370. So let's look at the stats from ad number 2. I'll let you take a look at those for a second. Again, these are real numbers, these first two. This ad got a 12.121% click-through rate, which resulted in a cost per click of 48 cents, which is almost half the price of this one. Meaning I'm almost getting 2 times the amount of clicks for the same price that I was paying here. So I got, off of 100,000 impressions, I would have gotten 12,000 clicks at a cost of $5,800. So does it make sense now why Bing would reward me with like almost half, charge me almost half the price of a click over that I was paying over here when my CTR is higher? Does that make sense? Honestly, because look at how much more money they would make from me if this ad was shown instead of this one. So to get me as an advertiser to show this ad more, they're going to reward me with lower clicks, which allows me to make more money, right? I don't have to spend almost 90 cents a click. I'm spending almost 50 cents, or a little under 50 cents a click instead, which that's almost, 50% less than what I was paying right here. And I literally changed 5-6 words maybe in this ad. So that's a huge thing that you need to take away here if you've never really thought about CTRs when it comes to like search or really any kind of, like I said, any kind of a cost per click ad network where they're charging you on a CPC basis. Native ads are all like this. Every single native ad network runs the same exact way. Whoever has the highest CTR, whoever's ad gets the most or the highest CTR, they pay the least amount of money per click because it makes the ad network way more money. Look at that, almost, what is that, like 4 times more money from showing this ad instead of this one. So hopefully that makes more sense. Yeah, so John, like John said, ad network is looking at CPM. So what CPM means is the cost per impression, or cost per mil is what it stands for. It's cost per 1,000 impressions. They're charging you on a cost per click basis, but they want to know how much they are making for every 1,000 impressions. And if you can get a higher click-through rate, meaning more people are going to click and they can charge less money for it, they're going to reward you because of that. They want to make more money, but they can't make money unless they charge you on a per click basis. They don't make any money when nobody clicks your ads. They don't make any money when nobody clicks your ads. So like John's right, they're looking at it on a CPM basis, but they don't make any money unless they're charging you on a per click basis, meaning somebody clicks your ad. The more clicks that you generate, the more money they make because they can charge you. All right, this one, a little bit more psychology. So focus on problems and pains, not pills and potions. So potions is a funny word, but that's like another Dan Kennedy thing. Really what it comes down to is leading with your prospects' problems and pains in mind, because that's what they're thinking about. People are selfish. They only care about themselves. They don't care about the name of your pill or your potion. And when you go, like, just for the heck of it tonight, go to bing.com and type in lose weight. No, let me think. Best weight loss plan. I can guarantee you that probably at least two out of the top 4 ad spots are going to name some kind of a pill or potion. Not a potion for weight loss, but you're going to name some kind of a pill. People care about pills, they do, but really what they care about, what did they type in? They typed in best weight loss plan. They want to know, like, how can I lose weight? That's it. Like, it honestly doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. Like, if you lead with a pill or a potion and the name of your stuff, the name of your product, the name of your offer, you're not getting people's attention. They're not thinking about your name of your product or offer, which is like, it goes back to kind of like selling or really marketing 101. You're driving down the road and you see a billboard on the side of the road and it just says the name of like a heating and cooling company with a phone number. We're like, and the name of the company doesn't even say heating and cooling. Let's say maybe it says Brown and Sons. Like, cool. What do you do? Why should I care? Like, you got to lead with the problems and pains that they are currently having. Like I said, leading with pills and potions only causes confusion because they just don't even know what to do with that information. Another thing that Dan Kennedy kind of came up with was, he calls it dog whistle copy in your ad. So, like, you literally have to read this quote like 4 times for it to make sense. But different words that mean the same thing mean different things to different people, and it makes sense. Like, in your mind, like, one of the ways that my dad explained it to me, because he's the one that really told me about dog whistle copy first, was he bought a new truck a while ago. It was a number of years ago, and he was looking for. All of a sudden, he decided he wanted to buy running boards for the truck. So, as he's driving down the street now, he just starts noticing the running boards on people's trucks, because like 2 weeks ago, he wasn't even thinking about running boards. It wouldn't even have caught his attention. But then he sits down in the morning with coffee and his newspaper, opens it up. One of the ads on the, I don't know what side, but one of the ads says running boards installed, $200 for the pair, like sold. It's being there, entering the conversation in somebody's mind at the same time that it's going through their mind. Like that's dog whistle copy, is calling out to your prospect and identifying their problem, their pain, whatever it is, agitating that pain, and then giving them the solution to that problem. So it's a little bit more psychology there for you, but I just think it's important with like this stuff to not like skip over to me, like this stuff is like way more important than the tactics, what landing pages are you using, or what ad are you, what ad copy are you using? Like the psychology of why something works is way more important than the tactic I'm using today to tap into that psychology. If you understand why that psychology works, you can go out tonight and make your own campaign yourself. You can literally just copy and paste a template, and you're substituting different things because that template is what is making it work. It's designed specifically to attract the attention of that your perfect prospect, getting the click, and then you did your job as the affiliate. All right. So again, this is like the most important thing. If you're going to promote any kind of a supplement, you're foolish to promote one that doesn't have a VSL. You're just making your job way, way harder than it needs to be. First of all, like VSLs, video sales letters, they convert more visitors into buyers, than any kind of a text sales letter that I have seen. It's not to say that there aren't good, like somebody sits down and writes a video sales letter script. It's a text sales letter, right? They're writing copy, and you can use that for text, but it's the video and the way the video is presented, and it feels like it's a presentation to the person watching. If you study, again, it goes back to psychology stuff, guys. Like the brain remembers and stores things as images. So when you're reading this slide right now on the screen, your eyes have to relay the message to your brain of what that says, and then your brain has to visually think about what it is. Like close your eyes and try and think about what's on the screen right now. I promise you, you're seeing the slide the way that it's presented right now. You're not seeing it the way that your mind has read it to you. It's saved that way, and then you have to think about what it says. VSLs work better in that sense. And the biggest reason that I consider it an important requirement for especially anybody beginning in this is you're making it way harder on yourself if it isn't a VSL. It's better if there's at least like a text sales letter. That's still good. It's better than just having like the order form that I showed you, like the skin tag order form. Like if that's all you get as the affiliate is somewhere to send people to order, like good luck, man. Like it's tough. It's not easy. Conversions will be very, very, very low. Like I said before, you don't need scammy ads or illegal landing pages. You just don't. The VSL does the job of selling. You don't need to do any of that yourself. You literally can just send targeted clicks. Yes, you can direct a link from an ad on Bing or native ad to a video sales letter and make money profitably. Will the ROI be like 300-400%? Maybe, probably not if you're direct linking, but it shouldn't be that high, because you're literally doing nothing but just creating a little tiny ad and sending them to the VSL. You still make money though, right? So what you got to know yourself, like what do you expect this to do for you? If you expect 500% ROIs, You got to put in a little bit more work than just creating an ad and direct linking it to a video sales letter. I just feel like I have to sneeze, but it keeps going away. All right, choose the right traffic source. So if anybody's unclear on like what I'm talking about with VSLs, please leave questions. Because I know there's like people with so many different skill levels that are on this webinar live right now. Like I can just tell by the names of a few of them, like some of these guys are likely making more money than I am doing this already. So kudos to you guys for being here, because you're never, I never want to be the smartest guy in the room. So I'm constantly on webinars like this, even if it's like elementary stuff, because you just pull out one tiny thing, man, and it's worth your 2 hours of sitting here. So, but back to my point, like there's a lot of guys that I know that are like way up here, but I also know there's a lot of you on my email list that are just getting started, don't know a lot. So there is no stupid question with me. I promise you. Nobody's born knowing how to do this stuff. So don't ever feel dumb asking a question. There aren't any dumb questions. I promise to not make you feel stupid. All right, choose the right traffic source. So like I said before, traffic is kind of traffic. Say the right source, but there really aren't any wrong traffic sources. They're just some that are better suited for this, for just different reasons, really. Obviously, like Facebook and Google, very tough to promote health-based offers. Definitely not impossible, not at all. It's just a matter of like how much are you willing to do as the affiliate to promote the supplement. A lot of guys are just still killing it every single day on Facebook or on really Google too. For a while, right after the pandemic started, man, like even nobody getting banned or anything, like unless you were just doing just blatantly illegal stuff. But they lost a ton of money from big corporations and ad spend. So they weren't going to be picky about whose money they were going to take. They've definitely cracked down more now, but guys are still doing very well promoting anything, really. You just got to do it the right way. I'm just lazier. I don't like jumping through the hoops that like Facebook and Google make you jump through as an affiliate or even as a vendor, for that matter, trying to promote your own product, regardless of how legit it is and lack of promises and all that. They make you jump through hoops and hoops and hoops, and it's demoralizing, I guess is the best way to put it, because it's like, what can I run, right? Because if you've had an account banned or disabled or an ad disapproved or whatever, it never lines up with their previous action. What they let slide the first time, now they're not, or vice versa. So like you're clueless as to what you can and can't do. Every day you're kind of on pins and needles hoping that your account doesn't get banned. So it's just not for me. I'm not wired that way to just appease other people. Yeah, so I picked the easy path, easier. It probably cost me a lot of money because I know there's guys 5 figures a day doing this. So like, $10,000 plus a day in commissions. This is affiliate commissions on Facebook still today, yesterday, the day before, probably the next month, 2 months. But again, you're the only one that knows what you want and what you are expecting. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying it is likely going to be harder. So, but the other side of that coin is that when stuff's harder, less people do it. I mean, look at, I'm not even willing to do it. So that means, there's a lot of people that aren't willing to do it, which if you are willing to do it, like, good for you, man. Like, you're scooping it up, you're picking up the slack that a lot of people are just kind of giving in and letting go of. So here are my 4 favorite supplement traffic sources. Native ads. So native ads, I've been using native ads for, it's been 5 years now, because 2014, I think, is when Facebook gave me the boot the first time. When it was back when they first started doing, like, getting people the boot type of thing, and they weren't appealing, letting anybody appeal, or it was pretty much like you're done. So I had to figure out somewhere else to advertise, and I turned to native ads because it was the most lenient, high quality traffic source you could get at the time. The sources that were high quality back then are now a lot more strict on what you can run. So like Taboola and Outbrain, they don't let you run the type of stuff that these 4 sources or networks do. But there's, plenty of traffic to be had here. It's just, native ads, as well as push notification ads. It's just a whole different ballgame as far as, running these kind of campaigns and optimizing them, and kind of knowing, what to do. Like, you got to know how much to spend, when to not spend any more, when to block certain publishers, placements, widgets, when not to, when to increase your bid, when not to increase your bid, when to use a landing page, when not to, when to use a different type of landing page, when not to. So it's a whole different ballgame. Native and push are very, very similar, almost identical. But those two are a whole different ballgame than the other traffic sources. It's just a very specific, it's a specialty thing. Like, you got to know what you're doing. That's it. Third one is email ads, which I will probably always, to the day I die, love email ads, just because it's like closest thing that you can ever be to direct mail. Like walking down your driveway, opening your mailbox, getting an envelope that's hand addressed to you. Somebody hand wrote your name, the return address handwritten, just a last name and an address, and then an actual stamp that's stuck on the envelope. It's as close as you can ever get to that, which is kind of the old school Gary Halbert, gun to the head type of marketing, where what he said was, I need to make this campaign work. If I had a gun to my head, what would I do? At every step of the creation of a direct mail campaign, that was the thinking he had to use. What kind of envelope? If I had a gun to my head and I had to make this campaign work, or this guy's going to shoot me, what envelope would I use? Plain white envelope. Any other envelope could just draw attention and be considered an ad and be thrown away. How would you address it? Handwritten is gives you the best chance of somebody opening it, because who writes it? Only somebody that hand writes your ad name and address on the envelope. Same with the return address, and same with the stamp. Only like an actual legit letter has a real stamp on it. So the email ads are the same thing for me, where you're inside somebody's private email inbox, and you can't get access to that any other way but paying for it or owning the email list, right? So that's, email ads will always be one of my favorite traffic sources, especially for supplement offers, because little to no ad policies there. It's the same as the direct mail, same as the inbox or mailbox. Nobody's governing it like they are with ads online. There's no ad network. Like the ones I have here, Archamax, Newsmax. Newsmax could be considered somewhat of an ad network now, because they've got native ads and a couple other types of things, but they used to only have email lists that they allowed you to advertise in, same as Archimex. So these are companies, these are newsletter companies that are really renting out space in their email newsletters every day. You can buy a complete ad, or you can buy a little chunk of an ad, or a banner, or just a text ad, or whatever. And then private list rentals are, you know, kind of got to know the person who owns the list, which just email them and say, hey, can I buy advertising to your email list? And 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, yeah, here's my rates. They already have a canned response for it. So that's how you strike up private deals. But there's no ad policies with email ads. Still, you know, email ads can be expensive. You know, I just recently paid about $2,500. No, paid. You know, that one was $3,000 for a kind of a glorified banner, so to speak. It had some text above it. Basically, paid $3,000 for a section of a newsletter in a very specific niche to 100,000 people. So it's, you know, there's a lot of skin in the game at that point. You're not just starting with a $5 a day ad budget. And like I said, with the other two, you kind of got to know what you're doing, and otherwise you're going to lose your shirt pretty fast. So like my default that I tell everybody to start with is Bing, which is now really Microsoft ads, but it's still being shown on like the Bing search engine. So Bing search ads, like PPC, pay-per-click search ads, are what I'm talking about. They've got they've got really good volume in a number of different health niches. A lot of people don't realize the type of volume that they have, mostly because their keyword tool is just so jacked up. It's just not, man, it's all over the place, but we'll talk about that in a second. CPCs are, again, all over the place as well. Can't really ever go off of what they estimates that they show you. Kind of go back to the weight loss one that I showed. I started that like $1 CPC, $1 per click is what I was bidding, and got it down to almost 48 cents. I think I actually got it down to closer to 40 cents before it was done, or before I stopped it. But that's why I'm saying you can't go off of the estimate, because if you have the ability to do everything that I've talked about so far tonight, you can change, literally change your entire outlook and the success of that campaign by just changing the CTR of your ad, which changes the CPC. All of the metrics then become irrelevant of what they estimate. It doesn't matter, right? So the only thing that matters is when you're initially bidding, you've got to win bids so that you have the chance of getting a higher click-through rate. But you do that by starting with a lower ad budget. So they're also like ridiculously lenient on their ad policies. So that Fox News, that fake landing page, like they let you run that. And again, I don't know that they, like, if you submitted that page initially for your campaign to get it reviewed, if they would let that fly, or if people are just changing the landing page after it's approved and they don't ever come back and look. Either way, like, they're letting it run, because it almost, you know, probably 50% of the ads that you see in the very popular affiliate categories, they're all using that type of stuff, where it's like a fake news type thing, or Shark Tank, or something like that. They do have, I thought I opened that, but I guess not. But they do have a like restricted pharmaceutical products you can't promote. Some of them are supplements. None of them on the list are any of them that I am aware of. As far as like in the affiliate networks, I believe that they're just like vendors that were just advertising on their own and doing, you know, shady stuff. So yeah, so like their ad policies are little to none. Like if you're not doing anything illegal, you're pretty much good to go. The coolest thing is definitely intent-based targeting using like keyword phrases. So like the lose belly fat thing, like if there like there's a, lose belly fat is a very, very, very popular search phrase, and there's a whole list, probably almost 50 or more keyword phrases in that lose belly fat space. Um, like that's a very, very tight niche that you can control the CTR on, like I did, by simply adding belly fat to the article or the headline. Because most of the guys are too lazy to do that. They're just pulling in 1,000 keyword phrases that are just, weight loss related, and hoping that their one ad is good enough and makes enough money. They're not ever relevant enough. They're not ever targeting just belly fat or just, something else specific type of specific diet. They're bidding on the word diet, right? So like that could be keto diet, paleo diet. Like there's so many different types of diets. There's so many different reasons why somebody would type in diet, shakes for dieting, chicken recipes for dieting, so your ad for some keto boosting pill is popping up on somebody's search for a chicken recipe or diet chicken recipe or diet desserts or something like that. Like that's driving your CTR way, way, way down because you're showing up for worthless searches. You're never going to get clicked on for that. So they're shooting themselves in the foot. They just don't realize it. And they're really costing themselves money. They're paying more money because they're being shown up for irrelevant searches. So like to me, it's like a blessing to be able to target keyword phrases like that are that exact. All right. We're approaching 2 hours here shortly. So the simple 3-minute ads here. So the hard work's already been done for you. Identify your prospects' problems. I'm just going to go through this quick. Done. Write your ad copy. I'm going to show you what I mean here when I'm saying done. Write your landing page copy. Done. Create your landing page. Done. Choose the best traffic source. Done. Just choose Bing. I just told you that. What I mean by the like this stuff that I'm saying is already done for you. It's done for you because if you followed what I just said tonight so far, the vendor should have already identified all of that in the sales copy. Like they literally pay sales copywriters, some of them upwards to $1 million to write a VSL, a video sales letter. 6 figures is nothing for these guys to pay a copywriter to write a conversion crushing video sales letter for them. The other side of that is you're paying an A level, like top of the line copywriter to write this copy, and they're doing the work for you, the research on who is this best suited for, what like dog whistle copy, keywords and terms should you use. It's all been done for you. Meaning they've already identified the prospect's pains and problems. Your ad copy, it's right on the sales page and or in the affiliates area. So it's super simple. You can go through. I think I got these things out of order somehow, but so why I recommend Bing search ads, and you just put all these up here. So I've collected, keyword, basically just do keyword research using the Bing tool, which again is not accurate as far as CPC goes. It's also it's very, very wonky when you the keywords you would expect to show up when you search something don't show up unless you search something different. It's just weird. I don't really know how to explain it, but meaning like if I type the word diet into their keyword tool, it's not going to show me every single keyword that has the word diet in it. It only shows the one they think I'm looking for. That's where a lot of affiliates and other like vendors miss out, because they don't do enough research and find the keywords that have the most search volume. Some of these are all health. So these are all health based. Health supplements. yeah, health supplement niches, all of these right here. So one of them, which one is it? Let's see if I can figure it out based on the price. Yeah. So, or no, that's not even it. It's this one. This 18,000 monthly searches. This keyword was not anywhere in the initial search that I did for these. It just pulled up, I think, maybe the 9,000 one. I ended up finding this one, and it's only 14 cents a click. Just typing in something else. It was relevant, but it wasn't even in the same category that I would figure. So I have one big spreadsheet, the Google Doc, with all these in them, and just a tab at the bottom for each of the different supplement niches. And I was in another tab, and I ended up finding this keyword, so I had to go back and add it to the top. Like, it's not the keyword tool is useful. You just got to know how to use it. Like, you just got to keep digging and dinging. Like, I'll spend usually about a day, probably like, I call it a day, but it's like 4 to 6 hours probably of actually doing it. I kind of lose the track of time, honestly, when I'm doing this stuff. I don't know, it's kind of fun for me, but you have to dig for the gold is really the best way to put it. Like, it's just not there for you. You can't just type diet and expect all of the money keywords to be there. It just doesn't work like that. So here's kind of the step-by-step do-it-yourself way of really what I consider to be the 3-minute ads. And I did it this way when I got started. So I have an asterisk here. It doesn't pop up to the end, but doing it the do-it-yourself way takes more than 3 minutes. But now that I know what I'm doing, I can do this in probably less than 3 minutes. So first step is choose one of these niches. And these aren't the only ones. These are just what I consider to be the top, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. The top 5 supplement niches, health supplement niches. This is for Bing specifically. I added that up here. Choose an offer with a VSL. So I skipped over choosing an affiliate network because it honestly, to me, doesn't matter unless like payout matters. I know payout matters. It matters to me. It doesn't matter to a lot of people. Like if you have a like an American Express card where you can put it on there and you don't have to pay it for 30 days, then you can pick any of those networks. Payout frequency isn't an issue. Go to the affiliate resources area, find keywords to target, paste the keywords in the Bing, find ad copy for your ad's headline and description and paste it in the Bing, launch your ad and make some money. So obviously that's like the Cliff's Note version, but it honestly is not any more difficult than that. Some of the offers already have an entire list of keywords created for you to just copy and paste. Some of them are like, into the hundreds, and they're really not very targeted, to be honest. You got to cut the good ones out, meaning that they're going to have in like, let's say a weight loss offer, they're going to have stuff about like fitness and very generic things that somebody may end up being a buyer for, but it's just not hyper targeted. So when I pick lists of keywords, I'm very just hyper specific. Like, it's rare that I have more than probably 20 to 25 keywords in an ad group. Just never do, because I want my ads to be so hyper targeted to that those keywords, so that my click-through rate's higher and my CPC is lower. And if they don't have the keywords for you to target in the affiliate resources area, then you got to do the legwork using the Bing tool, which I have pulled up here in one of my Bing accounts. So like I said, if you're in your Microsoft Ads account's what it's called now, but you go to tools, and then keyword planner is one of them. So just type diet if you want to do targeting for different countries or anything else language wise, you can do that there. Get suggestions. Their ad group suggestions kind of try and group some stuff for you, but again, man, I just don't trust. I don't trust the tool enough to take their word for it. So I always go to keyword suggestions, and whatever word you type or phrase you type is going to show up here. It shows you the average monthly searches and then the suggested bid. So, you know, again, it suggested or estimated, one of the two, whatever they call it, never accurate, never at all. And like I said before, just because I typed diet here, the way that they determine relevance is just absolutely awful and doesn't work. So there could be, like, for example, paleo diet. The keyword phrase paleo diet, probably, I don't even know how many searches it gets, probably 15,000 a month on Bing. Probably, may not show up in this list of whatever it is, 44, probably 600 keywords. May not show up there. Like, I don't understand it, but that's just the way it works. So if the affiliate resources page doesn't have, let me move that back over. For the offer you're promoting, if they don't have a list of keywords, that's how you got to do it. You just got to figure out, what keywords are hyper targeted to your offer and relevant, and pick the ones that get a decent amount of volume. What volume do you target? Like, I've targeted stuff for 1,000 searches a month. If I can get enough of the 1,000 search a month ones together that are still hyper targeted, then I'll do it. Maybe like a total volume no less than 20,000, something like that. Again, I'm just pulling numbers out, but that's probably a pretty accurate 20,000 total monthly volume. You're not gonna make a ton of money from that, but like, money is money, and once you set this up, there isn't a lot of any upkeep to this. When you start small and hyper targeted and relevant like this, at most you just cut out a keyword or two, or maybe adjust a bid if you have to. Not much of any kind of work involved with this stuff, guys. Usually takes longer than 3 minutes, especially when you have to do the Bing thing on your own. So that's the do-it-yourself way. This is the 3-minute ads way. And this is by no means not any kind of a sales pitch. It's literally just a demonstration to show you where. So this is where I used to be, and really not that long ago, to be honest with you. That was what I just. If I enter a niche I've never done before, there are health niches that I haven't done before because there just aren't that many supplements out there, and I just tend to not promote. I tend to not promote digital info products in the health space. I don't know. I just never really have. I did weight loss in the past and did it successfully, but kind of stopped making that a major focus of mine for one of my email, quote unquote email businesses. But yeah, so I still use this do-it-yourself way at the beginning because you kind of have to until you figure out on your own, what ads, what ad format or what structure of an ad is going to get the most attention in this niche, because it's not the same in every niche. I have certain templates that I use to test in different niches that niche I haven't been in, and some of them work, some don't. I've just got to kind of go back to the drawing board type of thing and figure out what it is and why isn't it working for this one. But some of them kind of can just plug and play. Name of the niche, the problem, the result, that type of thing. So that's, wasn't that long ago that I was in that spot. The 3-minute ads way is really kind of all the stuff that I've just learned over the years. So the way that I really wanted this to be structured for you guys is, you log in, you go to the winning supplement offers, you pick the niche you want to be in, pick one of my recommended offers, copy my proven ad text for that offer. If I don't have text for an offer, then I don't put it there. I'll tell you, hey, this is an offer I haven't tested, or I don't feel good enough about giving you my ad yet because I just haven't spent enough money on it. It's not in there. Copy my ad text, paste it in, and launch it and make money. Like, you don't need a landing page, guys. You don't. Sometimes you do. Just because the conversion rate on the VSL isn't that good. Maybe it's a new offer or something like that, and the guy just hadn't gotten enough metrics yet, and or it's just not a very the copy isn't good for the VSL. Could that happens too. So, but you don't need a landing page for every single campaign, and that's one of like the biggest misconceptions out there. Is like people think you can't direct link, and you're not allowed to direct link to anywhere. You can't direct link, right? Like I even did a whole YouTube video and blog post about that because like so many people like were arguing with me on social media, like not like it wasn't something I started. I just gave somebody feedback because they asked like a legit question in one of the I don't know, Facebook or something. And I'm like, no, you don't need to. I mean, you're allowed to direct link. And they just legit argue with me. I'm like, dude, whatever. I don't need your approval. I'm just telling you, you don't need a landing page. It helps sometimes, and a lot of times you make more money with a landing page, but it's not a necessity, and it's rarely something I ever start with. I rarely start with a landing page in my campaign. I just don't, because if the offer doesn't convert straight away, it's got to at least convert direct linking before I would throw a landing page in front of it, because it just doesn't make any sense. Like I'll put a landing page in front just to see like if it'll improve it at all, but if it's not converting direct linking, at least 1 out of 200 clicks or something, there's something wrong with the VSL. If I know that I'm driving like really targeted clicks, and it's not converting, then landing page isn't going to do anything else. All right, let's jump into these questions. We're almost at 2 hours here, and I want to actually answer the live questions from everybody that's on. So see how many people we got on still. Cool. Thanks, guys, for sticking around. Hopefully there's been some good content here for you. Again, I'm not pushing hard to sell on this thing. I really, truly just want to help you guys. So here's some commonly asked questions. People that so these are questions that people have emailed in just the last few days, knowing that I'm doing this webinar. So how much money do I need to get started? I'm not going to read that whole thing, but Bing doesn't really have a minimum daily budget. I mean, like maybe like $1, like they're probably not going to let you do like 50 cents a day or something, but like you could get started for $5 a day. But you're not going to get anything for that. You're not going to get any kind of data, right? It's going to be super slow. Maybe 5-10 clicks at the most. So you need to spend more money to make more money. So I put kind of some examples on there. My daily ROI is range. It's a huge range. Cause that, the health supplement niches they're so different. Not some people buy supplements, or really the better way to put it, that people need solutions for a way, way, way more important reason than somebody else needs a solution. So somebody who needs a hair loss solution, not really like a live or die necessity type of thing, right? But on the other hand, somebody who needs to lower their blood sugar, because maybe they're hitting life-threatening levels or something like that. It's a pretty important reason to solve that problem. So it's kind of, that's, to me, that's how I identify the difference in the ROIs. It's just, that's what it aligns with the most to me. Like, so 50% to 500%. The 500% is just the niches where the conversion rates are higher. So not always due to the desperation or need for a solution, but sometimes it's really good VSL, really good offer, the offer, it's got to be like a really good offer to convert. So if it's not a good offer, the conversion rates can be lower. And in some instances, the CPCs are much higher on Bing for certain things. The niches that you wouldn't really imagine them to be high on, they are high on, and it is what it is. So just putting kind of some good numbers in there to just give you a ballpark. Like you can kind of figure it out on your own. Like if you want to make X number of dollars, then the ROI needs to be this, and the ROI needs to be this. You need to be able to spend this much money. It's just a math equation. So I'll typically start. Somebody's probably gonna ask, like, what do I start a campaign at? Usually anywhere from 20 to 25 bucks a day is a good, comfortable range for me, depending on how much I already know. Like 20, 25 bucks a day is when I know nothing, meaning never ran anything in the niche, don't know, I have no idea what the CPCs are going to be like. Like if I'm bidding $1 per click, I'm not ever going to set it more than 20 to 25 bucks a day until I get some data in to know, like, how much of my clicks are really going to be. Because I don't want to just blow 50, 100 bucks right out of the gate on, 100 clicks or 50 or 100 clicks. And it's really about getting fast data, but getting relevant data as well. Do I need to be in the USA? So I actually get this question a lot with just kind of in general, people asking, emailing me, asking me affiliate marketing questions. Short answer is no. You can be an advertiser on Bing from just about anywhere in the world, to my knowledge. Like, I don't know that they restrict any countries. I haven't seen that anywhere, but it's possible. And most affiliate networks accept affiliates from all over the world. Some of them don't. So I actually had somebody yesterday or today say that they're in Nigeria and can't get an affiliate, can't get an account at any affiliate network. They all reject them. I honestly don't have a good answer for that. If you are in one of those countries, I'm sorry. I wish I did have a good answer. It's just not anything that I have experience with. But for this specifically, you don't need to be in the USA as far as advertising on Bing. And, if you, like, say you pick ClickBank, you can be in a number of different countries. There's so many different countries that they accept and can promote any product, even to people in the US. So. You need to be a tech ninja? Definitely not. Like copy and paste. If you can copy and paste, guys, you can do this, because, like I said, a lot of the hard work has already been done. Like people have been paid lots and lots of money to identify all the problems and pain points and pretty much put that into written words for you. You can literally copy and paste. In some instances, you may want to, if you want to, like, build a landing page or something, then that can be considered techie. They have, landing page builders and stuff out there, but not necessarily required. So do you need to know how to write sales copy? Just pretty much address that. If you follow everything I've taught here, you don't, because it's been done for you. Do you need complicated tracking software? So this is a big one. That, like, a big misconception, guys. You don't need volume, which is, last I checked, $70 a month, something like that. Would it help? Like if you're running, 5 different ads and 5 different campaigns, then sure, it would help, because everything's in a dashboard for you. Like if you're just getting started and the goal is to spend this much money, and make this much money, then it's a very simple equation. And if you I literally gave you the blueprint for this. Do exactly what I said. Do not make an ad group of 100 keywords or even 50 keywords. It's too much. Don't do it. You're you're making your job way harder than it needs to be. Get it as hyper specific as possible. Perfect example was the lose belly fat one. Nobody, like, I don't say nobody, a lot of people don't, like, they don't niche down. They think like, I need to get all of the weight loss clicks I can get. I'm bidding on weight loss. I'm going to pay $1 a click. I don't care. I want as many as I can get so I can make as much money as I can. And I promise you, you will lose more money than you make because you're not being specific enough. You're not being relevant to anything. Like when you look up the keyword volume for the phrase weight loss in Bing, it's probably in the 6-figure range, 100,000 or something. But a lot of those searches come from longer tail keywords. So like weight loss for diabetics. Like, dude, that killer niche. Weight loss for diabetics. The majority of diabetics are older demographic. Meaning that they can spend more money. It's a problem that needs solved, because it's it could be considered a life-threatening issue. When you go the longer tail keywords, so like 3, 4, 5 words in a keyword phrase, if you bid on those and you group them together, so weight loss for diabetics or diabetes, lose weight for diabetics, like those types of things, if you can group them all, even if it's just 10 keyword phrases and the volume total is like 20 grand, like I said, you will make good money with that. And those are like the set it and forget it type of campaigns because there's not much to change. Like it either works or it doesn't work, what you're doing. There's not a lot you can do. You can bid different things, change your ads around a little bit to test a few different angles, try getting their attention about, a different way or connecting the dots between what they searched and where you're sending them. That's the biggest thing. It needs to be 100% congruent from start to finish. So, but yeah, I guess I want like kind of way off track there, but you don't need complicated tracking software for that. It's very simple to just pass. It's like a keyword ID number that you can pass through to the URL and then pass that to the affiliate network, and you can see from your conversions what is converting. You can tell what keyword converts. Like there's nothing more you need from that. Like when you start needing complicated tracking software is when like you think you need 5 different landing pages to split test, and on those 5 pages you need 4 different headlines and 2 images, 4 different calls to action, and you got like now 100 different multivariate things to test. You think you need that. You don't need it. You don't need it for this. Native ads and push notification ads, you absolutely need tracking software. You won't ever survive without it. You don't need it for this. All right. Do I need a website and hosting or a page builder tool? Like I just got done saying, I pretty much answered all this. You can, like I said, landing pages, like I can't just say, yes, use them, no, don't use them. Because in some cases they're required, and in some cases they're not required, and in some cases they would make you more money, and in some cases they wouldn't make you more money. There's a lot of variables that play there, and it's really niche-based. Traffic source has some to do with it. Like with Bing, it doesn't matter because it's like intent-based. People are searching for a specific thing. If you follow everything that I talked about tonight, and you just look at the questions and the answers that I put here. I need to open this up. So, well, I only got a couple questions left, and I don't know. It looks like not many questions in the Q&A box. So, if you've got any questions you want me to answer on here live before we're done here, please put them in the Q&A box now. I only have a few more of the commonly asked questions. Sorry. That I already, a lot of people emailed in, like I said, and these were like the most common. Some of the questions were more specific to their certain situation. So, but yeah, like if you have a question specific for certain situation, please ask it now. All right. Could Bing get oversaturated with affiliates? This is another huge one. Again, commonly asked. So in the lower volume niches, where it's not as like the hyper responsive ones, like it's hard to say. So I said yes, but honestly, I know for a fact that I can beat any of the affiliates that are in these niches just doing what I shared with you tonight. And you can do the same. Like literally tonight, you can set up what I just taught you and do the same. Bing feels like a small ad network. But it's kind of it feels that way because it's been created that way in our mind from a lot of what we have read and been told and heard online. When you dig down deep into it, so like when I showed that screen with all the different search volumes and keyword phrases, when you dig down deep into it, like I did, and you spend hours in the data and see the search volumes that are out there with like these like 5 and 6 word keyword phrases that are in the 200,000 searches a month range, and there are other 2-3 word keyword phrases that are in the 7-figure a month range, your eyes will be quickly opened to how big Bing actually is and the reach that it gets. So can you build an email list with this method? Yes, you can, but it takes more than 3 minutes to set up. Yeah, like I just couldn't go into building an email list tonight on this. There's just no, we're already past 2 hours and 15 minutes already. Not that like I wouldn't want to share anything with you, but yeah, you can. So it's not any different than promoting anything else. Like to build an email list, there's no secret. Like I'm not holding anything back from you. Again, like I said before, back up, think about it from like a common sense perspective. Like you're trying to remove yourself and your motives and your desires, remove it from the equation so that you can think about it from the prospect standpoint. If you were bidding on a keyword phrase and you had an ad and your goal was to just capture that email address, but then sell them a supplement, like what would you do? Don't think about it like what's the easiest thing I can do. What can I get up and set up and run tonight and expect to be having 100 subscribers a day with, and making $1,000 a day. When you think about it in that perspective with that mindset, you're not ever going to land on the right answer. It's not hard, not hard at all. It's a bit of a shift in your thinking. I guess is the best way to put it. Like, it would take me longer than I have to explain it to you. All right, yep, that's the last question that I have. So I do have a list of other questions. And I do have free bonus to give you. Yes, so everybody that was here, that stayed here, I appreciate it. Let me. Of course, that's what happened right now. So, dang it, the bonus is not playing along with me here. Dang it. Let me do this. All right. Sorry about this, guys. it never fails that there would be some kind of a technical issue on a live deal. What I'm going to do real quick is I need to pretty much not recreate, but I need to get everything together again. So I had the campaign that I was giving away as the bonus in a zip file, or at least I thought I did, and now it is no longer there. So what I'm going to do is make a folder here real quick in Dropbox. Give you the link to that folder. And while it'll be empty tonight, it will be full soon. All right, copy Dropbox link. So I'm putting this in the chat. Again, this Dropbox link will take you to a folder called Live Webinar Bonus that I literally just made. There's nothing in it right now. I have to figure out what happened with that zip folder that has the actual bonus in it. So I apologize for that, guys. But either way, you're not losing out. You're getting that. I promise you. So if for some reason it's not working for you and you're live right now on here, feel free to shoot me an email tomorrow or whenever, and I'll get that to you. So again, I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't know. It's technology, right? Like I can't really help it that much. Thought it was going to be as simple as just copying and pasting like I did, but whatever. All right, let me move on to these questions here. So again, get your questions in. Let me go back up to the top. All right, so Melvin, I answered the ROI question. So Melvin asked what your average ROI using the traffic sources during your testing. So like I showed your, I think it was in one of the questions at the end. It ranges, it's a big range. Minimum, like I don't get excited for anything less than 50%. Usually like 100% is really kind of my minimum, to be honest, but like I'm okay spending $1 and making $1.50, which is 50%. Like during testing. So I guess your question is specific to during testing. During testing, like with the way that I do it, there really isn't a lot of testing that's involved. It's ads and or keyword phrases. So, I mean, maybe I just don't pay attention, but it's rare to just stay in a negative ROI for more than like 5 to 7 days, like overall. So when I say ROI, I'm not saying on a per day basis, but like day one from when I start the campaign or the ad, day 10, I'm taking the total amount spent versus the total amount made, not what did I spend day 10 and what I make day 10. That's your current daily ROI, but that's not your total ROI. So I guess it depends on how you look at it, but I'd be happy with anything positive ROI within like the first 2 to 3 days is really probably what I would be shooting for. Is I guess a good answer. Is this easily repeatable? Absolutely, yeah. So it's kind of I guess it's kind of the same question as yeah. Like I was gonna say, kind of talking about oversaturated a little bit maybe, but it's definitely repeatable. Otherwise, I wouldn't be sharing it with you. Johnny's asking, is this a long-term project? Not really. So unlike the majority of the stuff that I do, this is more spending money to make money and not so much building a long-term asset. It's not to say that like these supplements don't stick around for a long time, but you know, some do, and some, some are gone within a couple of weeks. But like the biggest thing is really like focusing on and I didn't mention this at all. I should have. Focus on one niche, like specialize in one niche so that you can really understand that prospect, that person. And then it kind of doesn't matter which offers come and go, because you can just substitute them out with the next thing, as long as it solves the problem that the person that you're targeting has. If they, for instance, weight loss is a pretty simple thing. As long as the supplement is proven to help people lose weight, then it's good to go. All right. James asking, can you comment on so-called affiliates that promote products or opportunities as affiliate offers when they're really MLM network marketing programs that require a sign-up and monthly auto ship commitment, such as Malalka supplements? To be honest, James, I don't do. I don't do anything MLM. So if there were anything like that available for me to promote as an affiliate, I wouldn't do it. Like if I have to personally like sign up in order to sell the thing, and what I'm trying to get my people to do is sign up before they can sell it. Like that's not really what this is, I guess. This is really just, finding a good supplement to promote and finding the best person to promote it. Next question, is there such a thing as the most effective paid ads method but the least cost? Not really. What I talked about with increasing your CTR to lower your CPC, that's probably the closest thing that I can think of. But like the reason why that works is the answer to your question. So in order to increase your CTR, you have to know the person you're advertising to or attracting inside and out. Like you got to know them inside and out in order to be able to, connect the right language to them to attract them and get their attention, and then convert them into a customer or buyer. In order to increase that CTR, you got to really just know the person better than they know themselves. Next question, can you share your thoughts on the times where certain campaigns were not profitable using this health supplement strategy with your 4 favorite traffic sources? Yeah, sure. So, like I said, Bing is my number one recommendation for anybody who's never promoted a supplement. Not necessarily anybody who's never promoted an affiliate product or never done any paid traffic. If you've never done a supplement, I would start with Bing because it's the most beginner friendly, low cost, not low cost, but lowest barrier to entry. Where something didn't work for me was really native ads. And it was really because the offer itself just wasn't very good. Um, it had a VSL, and it wasn't from any of the networks. So I broke my own rule. It wasn't from any of those four networks, affiliate networks that I mentioned. But the offer just wasn't good. It had a VSL, it just wasn't a very good converting offer. And I knew for a fact the quality of clicks I was sending, the quality of person was really good because I was specifically paying for clicks on a very like a well-known news site. So, and again, native ads, it's a whole different animal. But when you send X number of clicks to a VSL and it can make one conversion, that's on them. When you know for a fact that you're sending those good clicks, there's nothing else it can be. So yeah, that's kind of like probably one of the best examples, I guess, to answer your question. Like if you're looking for one with Bing, there's one with Bing that I did that was kind of not a popular health supplement, and I really tried to test it because I thought maybe like nobody else was doing it type of thing. But again, that's why I'm sharing what I shared tonight. Everything in here is based on what I've learned over the years. So when I say pick one of these niches, it's because those niches are the easiest ones to get into and make money the quickest with. Don't think that because I didn't mention it tonight or because nobody else seems to be promoting it that there's a potential for you to make money. Maybe there is, but it probably isn't the fastest way for you to make money, and you're likely going to lose more money initially than you planned on before you start making any. Next question. I've never run Bing ads before, but I've been interested in trying it. Will there be enough information that a complete newbie can follow along and get running with this? So, Lance, I guess if you're referring to the like my coaching program offer for 3-minute ads, then yeah, absolutely. So I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the coaching program, but I guess there are people here who are asking about it. The coaching program is literally a step-by-step of everything that I've talked about tonight, live on screen, watching me do, everything. So it's called 3-minute ads, meaning you can go in and copy my deal, my ad, and all that. That's not teaching you anything. So like that's the quickest way to get you up and running and make some money. But I also want to teach you the stuff that I learned that allowed me to create these 3-minute ads, how I came up with the templates, why those templates work, and so on. So to answer your question, if you've never run Bing ads, this is really probably the best coaching program that you can get into because it's gonna be like hold your hand, step by step type of stuff, all on video. Next question: what would be some reasons that someone wouldn't make money or might lose money doing this if they're doing what you say to do, following your system, offers, etc.? That's a good question. What reasons someone wouldn't make money? So, off the top of my head, there's a couple of them. Bidding. So bidding in Bing, like I said before, you can lose your shirt very quickly if your daily budget is set too high, and you say you're bidding $1 a click in weight loss, and you set it to $100 a day initially just so you get a bunch of fast data. You're going to spend $1 a click quickly within an hour or two, just because there's that much volume with those. So, I guess the definition of, I guess you said would make money or might lose money. That would be a very quick way to not make money. You're spending, $100 targeting certain keywords, and maybe those keywords aren't the right keywords. Maybe your ad wasn't good enough. So it's just better to stick to like a slow and steady type of thing than it is to just dump money into it and see what happens and like basically throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Um, Lance, shoot me an email about your question about the discount in my other email from a day or two ago. Shoot me an email about that. I'll answer that for you there. And yeah, so Dan asked, "Is that a beer you just opened?" Ish. Not. It's not really a beer. It's technically cider. So it's. I can never figure out where the camera is. Pineapple cider. So it's Austin East Cider's pineapple cider. It's like a guilty pleasure type of thing because it just tastes really good. It doesn't. It's not like beer, but um, next question from David. One concern: are we going to be competing against each other if using same ads, offers, and keywords with your templates in the members area? So technically, yes, we're going to be. However, there like there isn't just one ad. Um, so when I do these things, um, like you can achieve the same effect by using different ads in different ways to do the ads. So when I put up a campaign, I'll put up 4 ads, probably usually between 4 and 5. They're all different ads, meaning different language to attract attention a different way. And some convert better than others, but I really do it so that it's one of those things where the uh, you don't get like the banner blindness type of thing. But the other thing is too, like I said before, you will be surprised at the volume of some of these keyword phrases in Bing, in these niches specifically. Um, like again, some of like I don't have enough money to spend to be able to get all the impressions. I just don't. It's nothing like a lot of people think it is. Like it's a podunk search engine compared to Google. Like search number of searches a month. Like yeah, but dude, like you can't compare them. You can't compare Google to Bing, and a lot of people just assume like just a quick assumption that Bing just isn't a good traffic network or like that quality of person is that like they can keep thinking that because I'm happy that they do. But yeah, I honestly don't think, David, that saturation or competing with each other is ever going to become an issue. Mostly just because I don't have that big of a following, and probably won't, like probably won't even have 50 people in the membership. So um, it's not really ever going to be a concern of mine. I would cap it before I let that many people have these ads. Um, like initially, that was going to be my deal. Was like, you know, do the old school like first 20 people who sign up tonight get the bonuses and that's it. But I'm like, I don't really need to do that. Um, yeah, sure, I'd probably sell more, uh, which is whatever. Like I don't do these coaching programs to make like a ton of money. It's not my deal. I make money doing the stuff that I teach. Um, like I do it to help people, which is why I ultimately ended up changing all just trashing my slides completely and switching to um, doing the whole pretty much just a content webinar. Like the webinar that I just did would normally be the coaching session, like coaching session number 1 of my coaching program. Like it's that was literally would be the video or the slides I would use to present the first live coaching session to my coaching students, because it's a complete overview. I left nothing out. I didn't go into detail as much as I will in the coaching program as far as step-by-step stuff, but that would be literally the first coaching session that I would deliver. So now I kind of don't have to deliver the first one that way. I can use the first one to start diving in and doing step-by-step stuff. So to answer your question though, Devin, no, I don't. We will, like technically, like I said, we will be competing with each other, but you'll never even know it, because there's more than enough volume, and just knowing how people are, unfortunately, and the lack of taking action that will happen. I'm not concerned at all with that. I just noticed so guys, maybe I messed that up. Yep, I did. That's my bad. I'm looking at the chat here. Let me put it in here again. I did it to just, I will never figure Zoom out for as long as I live. All right, everybody should be able to see the link now, the Dropbox link. Hey, what's up, Ryan? Yeah, Ryan, like Ryan said in the chat, David, everyone's campaigns will look different and will target different keywords as they are optimized. Folks will be bidding in different places. Yeah, so that's a great point, Ryan. Thanks for saying that. Countries and all that stuff, devices, ages, demographic, like you can bid all the way down to all that stuff in Bing, and a lot of people don't realize that either. You can bid just to women over the age of 55 or between 55 and 64. So all that stuff will play in as well. Cool. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I'll never understand what I'm doing on Zoom. Wait, I didn't answer that one. So next question, could you clarify what work would need to be done? It sounds like a lot, if not all is being done for you. So Lance, if you're like talking about the coaching program, the work itself, part of the bonuses, which is why I didn't put a limit on the bonuses. The bonuses are literally the 3-minute, like the quote unquote 3-minute ads. You go in, you pick your desired niche, your desired what product you want to promote, and you copy and paste the ad. If there's an ad in there already for a specific offer, it's because it's making me money or has made me a lot of money in the past, or it's proven one of those things. I'd like, if it's in there, it's because I'm willing to share it with you so that you can make money with it. So you copy and paste that, and as well as the keywords. So the amount of work, like the work that you're talking about, I'm assuming is like setting up campaigns. That's it. Like with setting up a Bing campaign, is the biggest amount of work. It comes from figuring out what keywords you should target, and which keywords are actually going to make you money, because a lot of them will not make you money. They're just people that are typing things in, looking for something that you aren't really thinking about that they're looking for. Like it's not a buyer intent type of keyword or a solution type of keyword. It's more so like informational. They're just looking for information at that point. Those are the ones you want to avoid. But the lists of keywords, keyword phrases that I have in the members area are literally copy and paste, do nothing else. Then you put your ad in. You got to obviously get your affiliate link and that type of stuff, but like super simple step-by-step stuff, not like sit down for hours and write content or anything like that. John's asking, do you promote these offers in just US tier 1 or all countries? I usually focus only in tier 1, John. like there's tons of money to be made in other like tier 2 stuff. You just got to know what countries like some countries do well, and some countries like they can't pay for anything. Like their payment system is totally different, and you're kind of wasting your money without knowing it because they couldn't pay for something if they wanted to online. But I know for a fact there are a lot of good tier 2 countries out there. You just gotta know what you're doing. And I honestly don't. I usually stick to tier 1 because again, I'm lazy. I don't like to test that much stuff and really honestly lose money when I don't have to. You know, there's plenty of volume in tier 1 where I can put my money in places I already know work. So it's just rare that I step outside of that comfort zone. Matt, good question. Do you recommend using volume DSP to drive traffic to supplement offers, or is more for list building using your 10x method? So you can use volume DSP. You just got to be careful with a couple different things. First of all, it's a CPM. DSP, like you're paying on a CPM basis, meaning you're paying every time your ad is viewed, not clicked. You just got to know that in advance. Second thing is you got to know, you got to pick the right ad network. So like you can make it work. I'm sure. I personally don't use volume DSP for that. I do anything that I've done in volume DSP is really, it's only been targeting live intent. Live intent is a email advertising network. So I target live intent newsletters with that just so that I can pretty much siphon off good email subscribers onto my lists. Like I'm willing to pay $5 an email subscriber in certain niches because they're instantly worth at least that every month for me. So that's usually what I use it for. But like you could totally use it for this. You just got to really, really know your numbers and pay close attention to it. And also make sure that the networks are cool with whatever you're doing. Some of them like you can target Taboola inside of Volume DSP, and they won't allow you to. They'll allow you to direct link, which again is another misconception. People think you can't, but they will not allow you to do certain. They require certain things on the VSL page, like it's got to have an option for them to click to read the text version. Can't have any like insane claims for like the headline or anything like that. Oh yeah, you can't have an autoplay video. Those are the main things for like Taboola. So like, but Volume DSP has like pretty good help docs for each of the networks in there. So you might be able to make it work. Just gotta like pick the right one. But I know you can like any of the native networks though, honestly, you're better off just going straight through the native network because you can do CPC pricing. You can do more targeting. You get more targeting options with going through the going straight to Rev content or straight to MGID or content.ad. I don't know if content.ad is in there or not, but you get more targeting options and CPC pricing straight with the network than you would through Volume DSP. I really, like I said, just use Volume DSP because of live intent, and like they want 25 grand up front for live intent in order to do testing. So. Next question. I'll repeat the whole thing. I once used a .net domain and put my affiliate URL on my host, which redirected to the offerowners.com. So that would be like, so like just for example, say I own 3minuteads.com. Um, this person's saying they bought 3minuteads.net and then person clicked the ad, went to 3minuteads.net. On their host, they had that redirect to 3minuteads.com. It ran for a few weeks, then Bing disapproved it. Doesn't the final URL someone lands on need to match the display URL? No. Nope. It doesn't, because a lot of times you're using a tracking URL like volume, and that is never going to match your final URL unless you have a custom domain. So that, like, the final URL does not need to match the display URL. That's more of like a Google thing. It could have been like, and maybe Bing gave you they said that was the reason why they disapproved it. I don't know, but that would be like really surprising to me if they did. Does the course also get into native push platforms, or does it just cover Bing? So yes, like like one of the, I think it's the last bonus, is the advanced, I think it's called advanced traffic, something or other course, I don't know, sources, advanced traffic sources, where I'm going to cover native push and also email. That'll probably likely be in the last week or two of the coaching session, because those are the, like, if you get it working on Bing and you're like, it's just making good money over and over without much change or anything, like, they're really easy to take it to those networks and scale. So I say really easy. You got to know what you're doing at those other networks. So that's why I decided to add that to the end of it. Melvin's asking, realistically, I would love and only need to make 200, 300 profit per day with at the very least 50% profit margins. Pretty easy to solely focus on this to make that happen long term. Yeah, like, absolutely. Because one thing I didn't mention, I mean, I showed it, but I didn't mention it. The majority of the supplement offers, the average order value is like into the up. I mean, I've even had more than like $180 commission to me, just because of like upsells and stuff. So that, like, you could almost hit that with just 1 to 2 conversions a day for your profit there. So yes, it's totally doable. Next question. Can you really scale Bing ads to 2,000 per day for health supplement offers? Thanks. Yeah. So, like, in the very first email that I sent, I showed, I don't remember what day it was, Monday or Sunday or something, 2,000 something. So that's revenue. And then I'm like, yeah, that's revenue. The ad spend for that day was like around $300 or something. So that's in a big niche. In the smaller health supplement niches, maybe can't hit 2,000 a day. There are a lot of creative ways to get to that. Not as simple as, the copy and paste 3-minute ads. But the majority of people don't need to make 2,000 per day, with one ad, but so let's just say you pick 2 or 3 other small ones and you're making 400 or 500 each, like, you can get there pretty quickly. So, like, to answer the question, yes, you can. It's going to take one of the larger niches to do it, but yeah, absolutely. Like, people, I keep like saying people, but I know there's guys out there doing 10, 15, 20,000 a day. That it's not Bing. So like Facebook or something, but Bing, you can easily get to 2,000 a day in a larger niche that supports it with volume. cool. Yeah, so I'm looking at the chat too. Ryan, thanks, man, for helping out. Appreciate it. Hey, where did I just see that? Um, Somebody said the folder is empty. Yeah, because, so maybe you missed it. Whatever my zip folder was that had the bonus in it self-destructed and it either disappeared or I'm missing it somewhere. So I just quickly made a folder in Dropbox and copied that link in there. But later on, I'm going to add the bonus into that folder when I can figure out what the heck happened and find it in my computer. How long to hit 1,000 per day profit starting from scratch? Like I've seriously done that in the same day. So launched a campaign, made $1,000 in profit that same day. Doesn't happen all the time. You got to be willing to spend a good amount of money. Um, you know, like 100% ROI. I need to spend $500 in a day to make 1,000. Like 200% ROI. I need to spend $1,000. I'm sorry. I'm horrible with percentages. Yeah, no, that's 100%. 100% ROI. Like $1,000 a day profit. I need to spend $1,000 and I make $1,000. Um, so, like, if you're willing to do that and you know what you're doing, you can do it in a day. So when you say starting from scratch, meaning like maybe you've never done this before, realistically, I would probably want you to set a goal of 30 days just so that like you don't waste too much money initially by just trying to throw stuff at the wall, and you take it slow and analyze the results as they come in. Again, there's not a lot of moving parts to this, um, but like one of the biggest things is getting your CTR high so that your CPC is low. That's a huge factor in getting an ROI in $1,000 a day profit. So, for example, that $300 a day ad spend that resulted in $2,000 a day in revenue, that's because my CTR is well above 10%. And it was not that high. I'm sorry, when it wasn't that high, I wasn't making that much money because I'm obviously not getting as many people to click the ad. So that's a huge factor in it. And it's like the whole system has to work together and for you to get the end result. Jacob asked, can you use Bing for internet marketing / make money online offers? Absolutely. Like you can use Bing for just about anything, like I said, unless it's illegal. John's asking, can you touch upon briefly FTC requirements on the ad itself and if you go with a landing page? So like you're gonna be so first of all, I'm not a lawyer. So like nothing that I'm saying here you can use as like legit law. Just like common sense, like again, is really the easiest answer because taking it from the existing sales page and sales copy, it's already been approved by that affiliate network. Like ClickBank has gotten very, very strict on their approval process and what will fly and what won't. Like if it's running on ClickBank, it's because it's legal, like FTC legal. Like just use their stuff. Other places maybe aren't as going to be as strict, like affiliate networks or elsewhere. But just like there's just so many things that I guess I'm trying to like generalize, but you know, as an affiliate, the claims are probably the biggest thing, so just misleading people. But like if you're gonna do that type of stuff that would get you in trouble with the FTC, this isn't gonna work anyways because the stuff doesn't align. You got to be 100% congruent with the person you're attracting and the problem that the product solves that you're sending them to. So that's the biggest thing, like John, with the FTC is they don't want you to deceive or mislead anybody. Those are the two biggest things. And then obviously just like pretending to be Fox News or both of those. A question: will you teach us in the program on how to find specific targeted keywords for the ads? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's so you're not like the bonus is giving you my lists of all the keyword phrases in all of the health supplement niches, but I'm also going to show you, just like I started to there a little bit, how to find them, and then also how to dig deep and deeper and find like the quote unquote hidden ones that people just don't realize are there. All right, I got a couple people talking, submitted questions about not finding the Dropbox link. I think I re-pasted it in there after these questions, but please let me know if not. And if this ends before you let me know, just email me because I can tell who was live on here and who wasn't through Zoom. Mario is asking, please share in your initial example, lose belly fat. What was your earnings per click or your total sales? So, Mario, I actually have an entire case study, which I just pulled that off of my blog. So if you go to my blog here and then go to case studies up at the top, just hover over case studies and then click the little arrow here to the right. It's right here. Called Bing Ads ClickBank case study, and like pretty sure that this campaign was from like it's been at least 4 years, if not 5, but yeah, but it goes into detail with well, you can see some of the sales and stuff right there. Those are just initial sales, I think, but yeah, there's more. But yeah, the whole thing is right there. Next question: should I get a domain like dietplan.com for the origin URL for like compliance reasons? I mean, I doubt that you're going to be able to get that domain, but something along those lines is totally fine. It does it like your domain. Honestly, it really doesn't even matter because it can be, especially if you're direct linking, it can be anything. It doesn't matter. Like Ryan said in the chat box, you put your domain in the tracking template in Bing, what's called the tracking template, and then the final URL is wherever you're sending the person. The person doesn't see your domain anyways. Like when you hover, you go to Bing and you hover over an ad, it just shows a Bing link at the bottom. It doesn't even show your domain. So the tracking template URL honestly doesn't matter that much. When it matters is if you're using a landing page. And what you said there, the domain is totally fine. Like the more relevant it can be to the niche that you're in, the better off you'll be. So if you're in diet, then yeah, diet or weight loss type domain. Even just a generic health, like health related domain is good for any of the supplements. Mario asks, this is a good question. Do you think that the products you recommend to run in Bing like weight loss, ED, diabetes, et cetera, do good for the reason of the older audience in Bing? Probably, yeah, that's probably a good point. The demographics of Bing do tend to be like skew older. Um, so yeah, I mean, that's you're probably right there. Next question. Haven't checked out the offer page just yet. Is it mostly video-based training? That'd be great. Yeah, so it's going to be live. So 6 live coaching sessions on video, just like this. It's like Zoom, like webinar style, where I can, just go step by step through the whole process, explaining things as we do them, and just so you have everything on video, start to finish type of thing. Next question, another video you shared about owning a ClickBank product related with dogs and then selling it. Could you please share, is that something that you recommend to shoot for even if you don't have a product? So I think what you're asking is, should you start as an affiliate doing this and then try to be a vendor at some point, or just stick to being a vendor, or stick to being an affiliate? Being a vendor or like a product owner and being an affiliate are two totally different things. Like, I would never recommend anybody to be a vendor for a product if you're a beginner and haven't really done much of any kind of marketing, because it's just, focus on doing this, get good at driving the traffic. Then, once you've got a good feel for all of that stuff, you'll be in a better position and more knowledgeable and experienced to create your own offer based on the knowledge that you've just gained from that. Like, I wouldn't try to do anything with your own product right now, or even remotely soon. It's just a whole different ballgame. Next question, do you guide the exact keyword researching process in Bing so that we can apply it to other campaigns too? Yep, I answered that one already too. Next question, just to clarify, we are directly using and or altering, if we choose to, the prepared ads you provide us to use on Bing while direct linking to the offer page. Yes. So the bonuses are all like copy and paste, take them and use them. You can choose to direct link or not. Like I have said a couple different times, I can't give you a definite yes or no. This works better, this doesn't. It's one of those things where you have to either test it and see, or just don't. Just do direct linking. There is no right or wrong answer of should I direct link. In many cases, using a landing page is going to increase conversion. It's going to feel like it's not initially, but so adding a landing page is adding all different kinds of variables to the equation. So it's just not necessary initially. Hopefully that answered your question. Next question, Kent. You say this is not a long-term thing. You're just spending money to make money. Does that mean this isn't going to work 6 months from now? No, not at all. So what I mean by long-term is every single day, I'm not building up an asset that's going to be worth money to me, and I can sell. So like everybody has their own version of long-term, and some people are like cool with just running direct link campaigns, and every single day they've got to log in and see if it's working, not working, and maybe they got to change, promote a different product, start over. And other people are better suited to build long-term, like email businesses, where every day their focus is to just add people to the email list, and they can turn that traffic off and still have their email list to make them money. If you turn the traffic off with these types of campaigns, you're not going to make money. It's not to say that you can't be making money with this 6 months from now, but it's not you're not building a long-term business every single day by creating an asset that's just going to keep paying you regardless of whether you turn the traffic off or not. When does the coaching program start? A week from today. So September 17th. Next question. How did you learn your method of sharing so much value on your product promoting webinar like this one? Very few other do this. Your webinar is full of knowledge. Thanks for that. I sincerely wish your strategy is paying off in terms of sales volume. So first of all, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Again, I think I probably mentioned it very early on in the webinar. It was just kind of an idea a couple weeks ago, like how can I turn this into like an actual workshop feel and not like a pitching, promoting type thing, because it's not me. Like promoting, like pitching stuff and selling live like that is just not what I do. Like I'm good at selling in written form and copy, and I don't need to sell this and make money from like these coaching things like this in order to like feed my family. You know, I like doing this. I like sharing my knowledge with people, and it's fun for me. Like otherwise we've been on here for 3 hours. So, you know, like I enjoy this stuff. So it's easy for me to do it like this. Like could have made probably 10 times more money than I'm likely making right now. I have no idea. I don't even know. Maybe not. Maybe it's doing way better than I expected. But I kind of knew going in that not using this time to just sell the coaching program is, you know, it's going to be counterintuitive. I'm not going to sell as much as I could sell, like other people sell, but it's not my priority. Like I said, my priority was to share this stuff because I really feel like it can help people. Question from Christian. Great stuff, Dustin. So you showed us an example of a bad landing page we shouldn't use. Can you show us an example of the type of landing page you do recommend? It's kind of a loaded question, man. Like I seriously was going to, but I didn't want, like, I don't want to confuse or overwhelm people. And not because any of this is hidden. Like you can go right now, go to Bing and type in different keyword phrases and just click on all the ads and you'll find landing pages. The majority of them are junk. Some of them are very well done. Like trying to think of a good example that I can maybe real quick show. Yeah, like I just don't want people to feel like they have to have that landing page in order to make money. Like you don't. So like direct linking will get you a 50% ROI in the majority of these health supplement niches, just because it's a math thing. You got to let the front end work, meaning the ads and stuff. The click-through rates have to be high to get your CPC down, but you got to promote a very, very good offer that converts well and pays well. So again, you got to check all of the boxes. The landing page kind of is an afterthought. Like I said, it's an afterthought for me. Like I don't typically start with that. You know, I'll add them in the niches where I feel like I can use them and it will make me more money. But Christian, if you're still on, email me email me and I will, I'll find one for you. That will give me more time to find one. That way I'm not sitting here. Obviously, like I have landing pages I'm sharing in there, but I haven't like edited them yet to where, you know, I'm comfortable sharing them live on a thing here, because this is going to end up going up on YouTube too. So, but yeah, email me and that will give me a chance to where I can find a good one for you, and also not overwhelm people, because like I said, it's definitely not a requirement. Where did that go? Oh, that's weird. Man, these things are jumping all over the place. Yes, the landing pages are another bonus. Oh, it's showing some goofy times here. Let's see. Does Bing have any rules about having the same business domain name and the name same auction, double serving like Google, which could be an issue for affiliates promoting the same offer? Man, they probably, so the question was, I mumbled that one. Oh, I see. I was wondering what that. Okay, yeah. Thanks, David, for putting that in the question box. Bing Does Bing have any rules about having the same business / domain name in the same auction, which Google calls double serving? Um, like, could be an issue for affiliates promoting the same offer. I like, not to my knowledge, as far as using the same domain name. Um, but again, the domains are hidden in Google, which is different. I'm sorry, the domains are hidden in Bing, which is different than Google. Um, so it's not really misleading to the person, to the visitor. Um, your tracking template is where you're going to be putting in your own domain. Um, are people going to end up on the same place? Sure. And to my knowledge, that's, at least it's nothing. It's never been a problem for me. But I mean, I don't want to, if it hasn't happened to me, like I don't sit and study Bing's ad policies, because they're nothing at all like Facebook or Google. There's just like pretty much nothing. There's nothing there. It's like, don't do anything illegal, basically, is what it boils down to. So, to my knowledge, no, they don't have any rules about same business / domain. Thanks, Melvin. I appreciate your comment in there. Thanks, James. Yep. All right. Well, let's see. I got. All right. So, last question that I have in the box here from Christian. Email you sent, which showed proof of the 2,100 revenue from 359 ad spend, ROI for 95%. Was that from one campaign promoting a weight loss supplement and Bing ads only? And will you be sharing that campaign in the coaching for students to run? Also, was it direct linking or landing page? So, yes, one supplement in Bing. What was the other question? I am sharing it, and that one has a landing page. So, although that one, make sure I'm thinking of the right thing. Yeah, that one didn't have a landing page, and it was about, what was it? ROI was about 300, around 300%, maybe, so between 250 and 300%. And the revenue, I believe, was about 1,200 a day. So adding the landing page was also coupled with testing. So when I added a landing page, my ads typically have to get changed too. And that kind of the unique combination of the different ad and my landing page, changed it to the almost 500% ROI. All right. That is all the questions I have, guys. Any last call? Maybe I should scroll through the chat box here real quick. Thank you, everybody. We still have a lot of people on here. So that's it, guys. Like, I don't have anything else. The questions are all answered that I have, at least, unless there's something in the chat box here. It's double serving. Yeah, so guys, thanks to everybody who was helping answer stuff in the chat box like the entire night. Like, that's crazy. That's awesome. Yeah, Ryan and David and who else was replying? Melvin, and just the engagement. The engagement is appreciated, guys. So one more, looks like another question here. I could start with a $50 a day budget. How long do you think it would take me to get up to 200 a day profit? So Anthony, actually that lose belly fat offer, I know it wasn't a supplement, but that one I started at, I actually started that one at $50 a day. And this, again, that was almost 5 years ago, I think. And the first day was $200 in profit. Let me go back there just real quick because it shows. Sorry, the second day. The profit. So the third day was $200 a day in profit. I did this at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to throw this up there and see what happens. So it was kind of the old throw and see, like, stick. But like, I had knowledge about like a lot of stuff I talked about tonight. I already knew then. And there were a couple things that I was testing, but I didn't quite know at the time. The next day, I believe my budget was still $50 a day. So it was like 150 profit. Day two, it might have been actually day three. That was 200, the first $200 a day. I don't remember, but so that kind of gives you an idea like how quick it can happen. Because again, if you follow the system, it's literally like a step-by-step. And if you follow it exactly how I just described tonight, it really is hard to mess it up. But like when you try and think outside of the box from what I shared is where you could go wrong. Like I told you to step back and look at it from a common sense perspective and don't do what everyone else is doing. That's how I arrived at everything that I've taught tonight. So, hopefully that hopefully that answers your question. It could be as soon as like the same day. It could be a week. It just depends on. There's a lot of different variables, but if you follow everything that I'm saying, you'll be good to go. So, especially if you end up enrolling in the coaching program, then you're really, it's literally copy and paste. You're probably a 5 times better chance of getting there faster by just using something that's already proven. So. All right, let's see. This isn't really a question, but I find no matter the coaching program, 80% of people still don't see results. Hope yours is different. I agree. I mean, like 80% of the people don't actually do anything with the stuff that they bought. So that, to me, that's what I found, that 80% of the people don't do anything. The 20% that do, some see results, some don't stick around with it long enough to see the results. Like this doesn't take long. So, I don't foresee having any issues seeing results. Another question came in here. Let's see, which landing page builder software do you use / teach to use in the coaching, and do you use tracking software like ClickMagick for direct linking in the coaching? So I'm gonna teach. I'll answer the tracking one first. I'm gonna teach. It's actually a good point. I didn't really think about ClickMagick, but I typically use volume for this type of traffic. ClickMagick is good for certain things, more so like email-based stuff, but definitely going to teach volume in the training. Probably wouldn't be that hard to teach ClickMagick as well if like enough people want me to do it, but I would have to figure out if that's something that enough people want. So it'll be volume, and really anymore, like volume and ClickMagick's pricing isn't that much different. ClickMagick, they have a cheap plan, but you don't get a lot of the stuff that you really need with it. So you need to go for like the $50 a month plan. And I think Volume has a $70 a month plan now. The page builder software that I use is ClickFunnels. For this type of stuff, really anything though. Like my landing page templates though, they're going to be mixes of HTML. Some of them are HTML, some of them are templates that I have built in ClickFunnels. So like you can just literally copy and paste the URL into ClickFunnels, but some of the stuff I just do in HTML because it's easier. I like to be able to control everything, but yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Well, that is all the questions. Thank you to everyone who was on here live tonight. I appreciate it. Another question. Is there any content in the coaching members area for the time before the 17th? There isn't right now, but there definitely will be content before the 17th, without a doubt. I'll be adding pretty much the bonuses. So the bonuses will be added in there just as fast as I can add them in. But yeah, like the content itself is going to be literally the live coaching sessions, 1 a week for the next 6 weeks. So obviously those aren't there yet, but yeah, the bonuses will be added definitely before the 17th. So cool. All right, guys. Any other questions? Feel free to shoot me an email. If not, then have a good night, good morning, wherever you are in the world. So take care.